All right, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to MSC Mekong Qualifier 2022. In this year, Mekong Qualifier, there will be six representatives from the three different countries Laos, Thailand, and Vietnam competing for a total prize pool of 10,000 US dollars in that one slot in the MSC 2022. The tournament is organized by Mineski Global in cooperation with Vietnam Recreational and Electronic Esports Association, VNG Games, and Lao Esports Federation. Again, we are your shoutcasters, Giang Gaming, and here with me is Burger Kim to tell you about anything about today.
Yeah, and of course, just a little info about all of our partners. Vietnam Recreational Electronic Sports Association, or VRESA, is the SEA Games 31 esports organizer in Vietnam. VNG Games is the Mobile Legends Bang Bang producer in Vietnam. And as for Laos Esports Federation, they are responsible for Laos big esports events such as the 31st SEA Games qualifier and other international tournaments. And of course, this MSC Mekong qualifiers is also considered as a pre SEA Games tournament. Esports at the 2021 Southeast Asian Games will be held at the National Convention Center in Hanoi, Vietnam. Beautiful place, by the way. And if
Yeah.
ever you are there, if ever you want to catch the SEA Games, it's going to be happening at the 13th to the 22nd of May this year. Mobile Legends Bang Bang will be one of the medal contested events for the 31st SEA Games. So stay tuned for that, for all of the MLBB fans, for all of the fans of sports in general.
And speaking of the tournament, we experienced or we saw the group stages already, the best of two round robin during the April 19 to 20, and four teams qualified there. Now transitioning towards the final stage, we are at the final stage already, day number two in this best of three elimination. Later on, we're going to be experiencing a best of five as well on the grand finals, which is going to be held tomorrow at April 24th. But today, it is another set of best of threes for this upper bracket and lower bracket, since we we saw the results already yesterday. But looking back, for the total prize pool, there is 10,000 US dollars for the teams that are competing today and all throughout the tournament. The champion will receive 4,000 USD plus the MSC 2022 slot. Second placer will receive 2,500 US dollars. The third place will receive 1,500 USD. And the fourth position will receive 1,000 US dollars. The sixth and the fifth position will receive 500 US dollars each. So everyone wins something at the end of the day.
Yeah, I know. It's so nice. You're just playing your favorite game. You're also just competing for a chance to represent, of course, the region in the MSC 2022. You also get a whooping prize pool, like total prize pool of 10,000 US dollars. So that is amazing. Yesterday,
Mhm.
we had game results, right? That Team Vietnam up against IDNS Prince. Unfortunately, yesterday was a day of clean sweeps. We got Team
Yeah.
Vietnam sweeping IDNS Prince as well as their Thailand brothers. Nightmare Esports gets a 2-0 as well up against Idonotsleep Esports. And as for today, speaking of, this is going to start out in the lower bracket. It is going to be Idonotsleep Prince up against their Thai brothers once again. We've already seen this type of matchup in the group stages, and now we will be seeing it once again. And mind you, Gigi, the last time we saw them go head to head was the tiebreaker, and
Mm-hmm.
it was just to let everyone know, the tiebreaker was won by I Do Not Sleep Esports from Thailand. Let's see if it will have the same results today. But of course, they will definitely give it their best. And afterwards, we're going to be having the upper bracket final. So this is going to be crucial for both Team Vietnam and Nightmare Esports from Laos. So immediately, the one who will win the second series of the day is going straight into the grand finals, Gigi. They'll be waiting at the grand championship stage. But right now, we are in the lower bracket finals. This is going to be a lower bracket, rather. It is IDNS Prince and IDNS Esports once again head to head. The last time we've seen them together, there was a lot of contests, or rather, more targeted ban up against Lois of
Uh-huh.
Thailand. So a lot of the Fannies, even the Lings. So you kind of don't want to
I
give
can
Lois the
endure the
comfort pick.
pain.
But now, IDNS Prince, this has been a repeat ban. I'm not I'm not surprised if they also perhaps like take out the Karina, maybe even the Basha, to go
The Fanny
in
as
their
well.
banning stance. Yeah, the Fanny also. Yeah, that IDNS Esports loves utilizing. I mean, for IDNS Esports rather of Thailand, they can take out S1's heroes. Like it seems to
Hmm.
be like selected heroes that he picks up, like Karina, the Basha. We've also seen S1 pick up the Paquito as well. So I think these two teams definitely will limit out each other's jungler options. But now there will be perhaps I think GG a contest for the Grok if ever it is opened up for
Hmm.
both teams.
Sure.
There will be a
What's your
contest for Grok.
command?
Yeah, there you go to Fanny. Respecting, of course, the capabilities of Lois just to dish out so much damage in the early game, and especially if you have someone as talented as Lois on the Fanny, you can really, really let him be, right? And just
Yep.
take the lead for the early game.
Ling is also not yet banned away, so maybe this is something that
Yeah,
both
that might
teams
be
are
the
looking
next
forward to
ban.
pick. Hmm.
Among the plains
It might be the
exists
next ban, or it actually might be
which I
open,
was
GG.
made to
That's
guard.
very, very interesting. This is going to be, again, it is a double elimination, so still pretty much the lower bracket. So I think this is crucial for both teams. They have already witnessed each other's performance, and now it could be a Ling ban coming through for IDNS Prince.
Hmm.
So they seem to be going for the tanky types of jungler. So you kind of don't want a jungler that is very mobile, that can gank in all the lanes. I mean, S1 is that type of jungler that needs some time to scale up, right? So maybe the Ling ban perhaps could come through here.
Yeah, and this is the problem in the lower bracket. It's a battle of attrition in general because the teams are gonna experience a lot more games than the ones in the upper
My
bracket.
pleasure.
They after this one,
Definitely.
they also have a seat tomorrow in the lower bracket finals before battling against the one sitting at the very top. So right now, having to ban the Karina, we are gonna be safely expecting possible Ling ban. If
Ling
ever
ban,
it's
yeah.
not gonna be taken away, it's gonna be it can be picked up first here by Idonotsleep Prince to try and, or maybe they would like to trade it out with the Savior. Those are the options here because
Yeah,
Savior has been a high priority for the
right.
first pick.
I completely agree with you. They can go with the lane, they can go with the savior, but of course, IDNS Esports respects the capabilities of Kamui to, just make it some crazy plays, make in some game-changing plays with those hooks of the Francos in and yeah, there you go. The
Dual
link
swords
immediately
run
already.
deep.
IDNS Prince. I haven't seen this from IDNS Princess S1. So I mean, this is already the lower bracket. This is the playoff. So definitely you will bring out these heroes, these type of heroes like the Ling that will be under the hands of Sunday. I'm not so sure if,
Mhm.
sorry, rather it's going to be under the hands of S1. So I'm not so sure if it might be another Angeling combo. We've seen that yesterday, Gigi. The Angeling, and maybe even throw in the Uranus here. But again, ultimately, it really depends on IDNS Prince what type of composition they want. With the Sling in as their jungler, it will be easier for them to gank in the lanes. The XP, the
Oh,
gold
get
lane,
the
but the
grok.
Grok!
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we
Ooh.
expected that already. I mean,
Oh, they're taking the
they
Angela as well.
oh,
Oh
heavy
dear.
frontline, heavy frontline composition here for Idonotsleep Esports, and this is gonna be suiting them on the extended team fights, and I think that's gonna be the thing that they're looking forward to since they have won games wherein they went for these team fight based
This is my
composition for
teardrop.
extended team
Show.
fights. But
This is
I do not sleep
fun.
Prince will take away the Lilia here. This is a good
To
respect
me,
Mm.
towards
fun is all that
I do not
matters.
sleep esports because
They have
they
the
use
Grok.
this
They can.
particularly in their game win against I do not sleep Prince during the group stages.
Mhm. Yeah, they can pick up the savior here for IDNS Esports. That's a lot of range. You can totally do a lot of combos. Kind of wise for IDNS Esports to pick up the Angela. So now it is going to be the Lancelot Angela combo. Quite wise of IDNS Esports to just steal away that Angela. It's kind of already giving you guys a glimpse, right? We've seen IDNS Prince with that type of composition wherein their sides are pretty much fighters, and now we're seeing a little bit more from them. They pick up the Wanran, they also pick up the Lilia. This means that the mid lane clear is going to be virtually much faster than IDNS Esports if it is going to be a mid lane Angela. But now I would have to favor IDNS Prince so far when it comes to the scaling. IDNS Esports still needs a marksman to go up against this one. What could it possibly be? Could it be like maybe a Beatrix? Not unless it comes through for IDNS Esports. They take out the Beatrix here. Sorry, IDNS Prince rather takes out the Beatrix for them to get a better matchup in the gold lane. They take out the Selena as well. Perhaps one of the heroes that Kamui can utilize. So it's pretty much centered towards Kamui right now.
Kagura, like how you mentioned before, is kind of like an assassin mage setup. So maybe it can work for them. Although the savior is still open. Beatrix should be banned here by
Yeah,
Idonotsleep Prince. Yeah, they should ban it out because
yeah.
it is a high profile or high priority marksman that Idonotsleep
Or
Esports can
Popol
actually
and
take.
Koopa. Or
Mhm.
Popol and Koopa could be a marksman that IDNS Esports could take. IDNS Prince still pretty much taking out Angelina's heroes here. The Savior could work out for them, but when it comes to the pokes in the early game, you gotta give it to the Lilia, right? The Lilia is also dubbed, kind of like dubbed as the First Blood Queen. So you kind of have to respect that as well. The Derot ban comes through again, still pretty much limiting out the heroes here as Sunday Ye. So now we still need a mid laner, we still need a gold laner for IDNS Esports. The Beatrix is up, right? The Beatrix is up for the grabs, and I did mention the Savior that can be utilized by Angelina, especially since you kind of have heroes that you need to reach in the backlines. The Ling and even the Wan Wan when it pops its ultimate. So this is a great choice. You've seen Angelina utilize this the savior to its fullest potential as well. But now it is going to be IDNS Prince solidifying. There's fast rotations now with the Matilda and the Esmeralda. A great pickup here, but it means that
Mhm.
the main initiator here for the side of IDNS Prince is mostly going to be the Matilda and the Esmeralda with the setups, right? And now
Yeah.
IDNS Esports locks it in for their final pick. They go for a classic Brody. I mean, yeah, it still pretty much works. The range is pretty much similar to the Wan. I was expecting them to probably like pick up a Popple and Koopa. It could be a lane bully up against the Wan, but of course, in terms of the damage, in terms of that sort of sustain, you got to give it to the
Hmm.
Brody right now from IDNS Esports. They've gone head to head in the group stages, and now GG, they will be fighting now for the tournament lives here in the lower bracket finals. As for IDNS Prince and IDNS Esports, GG, so far, what do you think about the draft?
Well, for both teams, I like their draft actually. I would put up a concern though a little bit on the Esmeralda pick. I think that's gonna be one of the challenges here of Idones Esports because there's not much of frontline power on the side of Idones Esports. Uh, yes, they do have the Angela. Yes, they do have the Grok, but the Esmeralda is really strong in terms of dueling. And on extended trades, Sunday would definitely be able to win. The matchup, though, is kind of interesting as of the moment because Sanong Pack would try to deal a lot of damage towards the Esmeralda of Sunday. But I think as they scale upon, it would be a challenge for him.
Right. And I think mainly for this type of composition, you kind of want your gold laners to win, right? These are two scaling gold laners for both IDNS teams, but now pretty much they bring out the assassins here in the lower bracket finals. Finally, the Lancelot and the Ling going head to head. But if it comes to the combos, I do have to kind of give it to the Angela Lancelot. I mean, it can do ganks as fast as the Ling, but this time it is going to be the combo of S1 and Kamui when it comes to the lane pressure. But now pretty much if you gotta talk about the laning phase, the one and the birdie, it's pretty much an even game. So not unless someone goes in and visits them, right? It's either Lois or it might be S1 that goes and visits them. But right now there is quite an early clash. Look at how Zanri is so
Ooh.
aggressively using that sprint just to get in those studs onto use. With no black shoes, immediately use. It's taken down by IDNS Esports.
Yep.
And Angelina draws in the first blood here.
Yep. At the Esports, Esports, they would like to get that early advantage, and giving it to the mage allows them to have that enough burst power later on, because Lois is just gonna continue to scale up. He has that a decent amount of wave clear, and he's gonna be looking for picks later on. Yes, you have Sunflower that can deal a lot of damage later on, but if Lois gets through the front line to the back line, that's gonna create that disruption towards Sunflower. There is a contest on this turtle. Idonotsleep Prince are trying to muscle out Idonotsleep Esports right now, but here comes Sun Pack. He can deal a lot of damage when he charges his auto attack. And I think it's gonna be taken here by Lois. They do secure the turtle. Good zoning there by Sun Pack.
Yeah, as well as Angelina, right? And here comes the tournament chess codes, right? We have been giving them out yesterday.
Get
So many
them.
giveaway, so many giveaway codes ever since yesterday. So stay tuned. We will be flashing in all these codes all throughout. But speaking of codes, Izzy
See?
with the hard guard takes down 2. Make that a double kill. Will Kamui
Oh.
be the next one? It's actually really crazy if you have the Angela on your side, right? So much movement speed, so much mobility, and at the same time, there is also an insane amount of heal coming in from the side of IDNS Esports 4-0 right now in favor of the Thailand IDNS team. And if this kind of keeps up, this will definitely favor them when it comes to the mid to late game. They got it, and they got the Savior here. They also got the Brody in terms of scaling. So pretty much IDNS Prince has to answer out to all these aggression that Zanri has been showing. It's kind of funny. Like most of the time, I've seen Zanri on like hard tanks, but I mean, I've also seen him on an Angela, but he is that type of Angela that feels like he's using a tank, right? Like
Yep.
aggressively using the sprint, aggressively using it to like take down someone,
Oh.
right?
That was kind of unfortunate. Sun Pack tried to block the way of Sunday, but here in the
Almost.
mid lane, Angelina might be in trouble. Managed to escape successfully. But Zandri, like what you said, he is that aggressive tank that helps out his teammates no matter what. He is there to
Yeah.
back them up.
Exactly. I mean, here's the thing, right? IDNS Esports of Thailand. It's kind of funny how 3 of them, the Grok, the Angela, and even Angelina
Yeah.
on the Savior has the sprint. So look at that. Look at how fast they're going. S1 can't
Alive.
even take Zanri down. Just one click of the sprint. And by the way, if you guys are wondering why it has been a choice for most players to pick up the sprint, it's because it has been buffed up really well. So
Really
additional
well.
movement speed. I think they also added the additional seconds to actually utilize the sprint so that you can dash away to safety. Now, IDNS Esports, they are looking to take in this turtle, but there could be a possible steal here from S1. Unfortunately, that will
Nope.
not be the case. Lois dashes in. There is the heart guard here, but IDNS Esports, they know what they want. They take in that turtle, and pretty much they back away from the clash. 3K gold lead here for IDNS Esports of Thailand.
Yeah, and Easy even picked up a tower in the top lane, winning the lane against Sunflower. This is huge because Idonotsleep Esports wants to establish this early game. So far, they have a 3,000 gold lead. Special that they have been consistently getting those turtles. Idonotsleep Prince, I like what they're doing though. They're not engaging too much onto Idonotsleep Esports. They know that they can also win on the late game due to the fact that they can deal a lot of damage and enter from many angles since they have Kamui as the Matilda. So playing this creatively and not forcefully would benefit them so much. Although Sunday is getting ganked quite creatively in a sense because there's 3 people killing him right now, and it's Easy that even picked up the gold. So big pick here for Idonotsleep Esports. And
Oh,
even
look at that!
throws down the boulder wall towards Sunflower, and yep, he dead.
Yep, it is pretty much a 4K gold lead. This is insane coming in from these two teams, especially since IDNS Esports, they pretty much got a lot of their comfort picks, and now they are looking to take this mid-side tower. This could be huge for the side of IDNS Esports. The Dawning Light from the backside, and they take down the tower, the mid-side tower, opening up the map a lot. And now S1 is just forced to just split push here up for IDNS Prince. They haven't taken any towers, and right now Izzy already going to the bot side. I completely forgot how fast this Brody can
Oh
chunk the
no.
tower so fast. But Kamoy does the check pushes. There
Yeah, he's
is the
baiting
stuns
them.
there. Yep, there is pretty much the vision here coming in from our two tanks. I completely forgot it's not the hard tanks as
Mhm.
our main like roamer here. They're both IDNS Prince and both IDNS Esports. They have the Matilda, mostly like the support
Oh,
tanks. But here comes the Circling Eagle onto two. S1 is also here for the backup. There is no hard guard here because IDNS Esports has secured an Angela. Tempest of Blaze here just to escape. No casualties here for IDNS Prince, fortunately enough, because IDNS Esports, they have been leveraging on their gold lead in the 7 minute mark. Look at how fast they're taking in the towers here. 3 towers down already for IDNS Esports of Thailand.
yeah, and they even got the turtle and contesting the purple bopper, dawning light through the
Ooh, in
enemies
the
will
face.
slay them in the face even, and they're even extending right now, having full confidence against Idonotsleep Prince. Taking down two, they will respect right now the possible outplays that Idonotsleep Prince can do to them, but happily walking away. Take note, this performance of Idonotsleep Esports has been the best so far, given the current state of the game. I mean, 8 minutes into the game, no towers destroyed. They have secured four, killed nine, and no casualties. So
Yeah.
the way they have progressed all throughout from the group stages towards to this final stage in the lower bracket is looking fine.
Yeah, and speaking of fine, look at those items secured in by IDNS Esports, a BOD, and even a Malefic Roar for both Lois
Ouch.
and Izzy. This, yeah, I mean, that's all you can say, right? If you've secured these type of items, they want to go on the full aggressive side. IDNS Esports, you've seen some games wherein they
Ooh,
failed to close it out, but right now, Sun Pak is the next target. 3 members here of IDNS Prince try to get here comes the hard guard, but what they
ooh,
want here is the tower side. But look at the rock, the Guardian's barrier here of Son of Fuck
that's gonna
immediately
hurt.
takes that one, and now it could bite them in the back. Guardian's barrier onto Cowboy left. No one
Oh,
is left here, and it's a killing spree for IDS. They do get 2 kills, or rather, they get 1 kill here. Shut down onto Izzy, and they're
yeah, he was
looking to take in
overextending.
more towers. Yeah,
They
kind of
just wanted to
overextending.
push bot
Mhm.
lane, man. They just wanted to push bot lane.
They couldn't even take it down. Look at the tower.
Yeah, that's
It's still,
how.
it's still up. It's
This
still
is the
pretty
best
much
bouncer
up.
that deserves a race. Son of Pac deserves a race. Also, credits to Zanri for protecting him using the
Yep.
ultimate and also slowing them down, helping him close the distance to land those enhanced auto attacks.
Yeah, just for you guys in the live stream, we're kind of wondering why there are two IDNS teams. Yes, one is representing Laos, which is IDNS Prince, and then you also got the Thailand representative, IDNS Esports. Okay, just not to be confused. They are representing two regions, but pretty much they are brothers from both I Do Not Sleep Esports. They are now competing for their tournament lives here to be able to represent the region in the upcoming MSC 2022. Here comes the Lord Take here from IDNS Esports. They can totally get this right now as IDNS Prince. They are just kind of pretty much split pushing the side lanes. Pretty much the best thing that they can do right now, because every time they try to initiate a clash here, it pretty much favors the side of IDNS Esports, considering the fact that they got in all the turtles. And I hope you guys
Yeah.
got this
Yeah,
giveaway
get
code
this.
as well. Be sure to screen cap, be sure to redeem it. We got a lot more for the entire playoffs for today and even tomorrow. So please do stay tuned to all the games today and even tomorrow as well, because there will be so much more giveaway codes. Be sure to take a screen cap right now. But the game continues as the Lord is now marching down bot side.
Yeah, it's gonna be a big hassle for Idol and Sleep Prince. They haven't won a single team fight just yet, and now you have an additional member on your enemy. This Lord marching into the bot lane, and Idol and Sleep Esports definitely zoning them out away from their bot side jungle. And this wall by Pack is gonna be a big hassle as well, being that obstacle in their path, and also them just slowly closing out these lanes against them with the Lord charging into the bot lane. They're gonna be trying to contest or at least take this Lord down, but the damage from Izzy is insane!
Oh, on the backside!
Angelina with that Dawning Light, they will secure the kill on the Kamui and even take down this mid inhibitor tower. They're trying to defend, but so far, it's not looking good for them. Tempest of Play being used right now by S1, but it's just gonna fall down. That's Lois picking up the kill.
Wrong
And
choice.
bonus tower on the way.
Yeah, I think ultimately what S1 was trying to do is take down Izzy, tried to take down Angelina, because definitely the range that IDNS Esports of Thailand has is massive. They got the Brody, they also got the Angelina. Did you see just one Dawning Light was enough to take down the backside? And speaking of the Dawning Light from Angelina, Kamoy does secure in the Radiant Armor as well to counter out all the damage. And let's take a look at what Angelina has already secured. Oh my goodness, it's the Genius Wand and the Divine Glaive. So there is so much magic penetration here. So despite the fact that there is some sort of magic defense here from IDNS Prince, it's pretty much countering out what Angelina has built. A lot of cooldowns just to spam those ultimates, the spam and the 2nd skill as well coming in from the Savior. But pretty much Angelina has been untouchable in this game. 3-0-3 on this Savior.
Yeah, I think this is a common thing for Angelina. He has been playing it out safe all throughout the tournament, actually. Suffering from only a few deaths. Even when it is a game loose for them, he is normally the one that suffers only a few deaths. And having to play that kind of safe playstyle suits the team because he's dealing a lot of damage. Yes, he's helping out the team fight, but him being able to dodge or at least keep himself away from all the dangers allows him as well to consistently just pop out the ultimate and damage the enemy team and kind of distract Idonotsleep Esports as well during the team fight, because we saw sometimes that S1 tries to go inside and try to kill the Savior, but no, he is able to escape successfully. And with the help of the other teammates, I mean, there's Sunumpak, there's Zandri, there's Izzy as well that can punish those overextensions. That is a problem. Izzy gets ganked, the Blaze being used as well, but Izzy is surviving so much!
Oh, there you go, Zandri!
And they're even now fleeing away from them. I don't see Prince. That is so hard for them.
Yeah.
They couldn't even
That
kill
was just
one.
pretty much a bait coming in from Izzy, right? And you kind of think that Zandri, okay, we will not pop in the hard guard, but yeah, in the nick of time, pops in that hard guard onto Izzy at that, and this could potentially be the end here for the side of IDNS Prince. They are looking to close out this game. Nice falling star moon there by Sunday, yay! But unfortunately, the damage is pretty much real here for IDNS Esports. Boys is unstoppable. Dawning Light also onto the backlines. Unfortunately, they are in the base, but this could be the end. Circling Eagle, they are trying their very best, but look at Izzy just locking in the tower. And it is a good game. Well played. Pretty much like, Conway was trying to engage there with the Circling Eagle, but right after that was just, right, Izzy was just tower locking there on the Brody, right? And it was just game over. And that's really what they needed to take in the towers. And I think, GG, the major thing here for this game was how Izzy was able to win up against Sunflower in the lane. Like, if ever that didn't happen, if ever Sunflower got that advantage, it could have been a different story. But I think in terms of AoE, in terms of range here, definitely IDNS Prince was kind of outrange in this type of with this type of composition. The Lilia, there is the range, the Esmeralda as well. The Ling also can pretty much reach the back lines. But ultimately here was the range, really. The range of IDNS Esports was superior up against IDNS Prince. Therefore, they were able to win in all their lanes. They were able to do in those proper clashes, eventually leading them to victory.
And that's a problem of Idonotsleep Prince. I mean, they wanted to win the lanes as well, but unfortunately, it didn't happen for them. They even picked up the lane that normally strives on ganks, but how can you gank a lane that is losing for your team, right? It's going to be an extra challenge given the fact that Idonotsleep Esports even picked up the Angela for that additional protection on any kind of lane. We saw him protecting everyone, being that tanky frontline even during the start of the game that nobody can kill. Even at the very end, 0-0-13 on his score. well-deserved MVP, allowing his
Mhm.
allies to just continue to scale up and be safe. I mean, we saw the gank
Mhm.
on the later stages of the game, the gank onto Izzy, and even with a sliver of health, Idonotsleep Prince couldn't pick up the kill because of the heart guard of Zanri. So well played here by Idonotsleep Esports in general.
Mhm.
Well crafted the composition and the execution is on point. Now
Yep.
with the 1-0 scoreline, match point already. If Idonotsleep Prince wants to take this game number 3, they need to step up their draft and the composite and the
Mhm.
execution as well.
Right. I think ultimately maybe they can go back to their comfort. They have been playing that sort of like fighter side laner, right? More of
Yeah,
the
their
sustain, then
strength,
they
right?
wait for the mid laner to have that power spike. So they could go that way. Because I was kind of curious, right? They pick up the Ling, and I think this is the first time they ever picked up the Ling. So it was pretty much like, okay, wow, this is something new, right? And of course,
Mhm.
these are maybe your hidden weapons, but I think maybe they should perhaps like stick to that type of play style. One type of one or two scaling heroes, then you got like three frontliners. That's pretty much their composition. But right now they have gone up against IDNS Esports several times, so this could mean that they've already kind of seen a lot of things that they can bring out. But IDNS Esports is that type of team that can mix and match heroes. Like I mean, the Lancelot and the Ling, and Zanri was absolutely tricky and absolutely relentless on that
Insane.
Angela. Have you seen that type of Angela that goes in all aggressive, like stunning it with the puppet strings? And right after that, if you get stunned, he's gonna click that sprint just to dash away, and you can't even pick it off, despite the fact that there
Mhm,
was a Ling. So most of the time, right, you pick up an Angela, then you got a Ling in your the opponent's side. It's pretty much saying
mhm.
that it is going to be extra difficult for the Angela, but they so pretty much, IDNS Esports of Thailand was able to make it work in their type of composition. So I think for this next game, GG, perhaps, just perhaps, maybe IDNS Prince could pick up something with more range.
I don't know. Maybe range is not really the problem as well, because they had a decent amount of experience against
Mhm.
Idonoslave Esports during the group stages as well, wherein they drafted a heavy frontline composition with just one scaling, the Sicilian. Yes, they did have the range with the Sicilian, but the others were just aggressive frontliners like the Uzone. They even picked up the Franco, in which we do see the respect of Idonoslave Esports during game number 1, since they banned it out as well. They even picked up the Baksha, which was open during the first game. So kind of wondering where Idonoslave Prince wants to go. Maybe they want to match the aggression of Idonoslave Esports in terms of having those assassins, having those late game engage marksmen like the 1-1. But maybe in their playstyle, it would suit them having to basically muscle out Idonoslave Esports instead of trying to match their playstyle with the range, the scaling, and all those creative stuff.
Yeah, pretty much right now it is the same bands that we are seeing in game number one. So these are the heroes, pretty much comfort picks for both sides. Zanri, I mean, you've seen how aggressive Zanri was on the Angela. So if you perhaps like open up the Hilda, that could be extra difficult for the side of IDNS Prince, right? You kind of want to go in for those scaling type heroes, and if you give out the Hilda, it is extra difficult. Still pretty much the same. Also, Kamoe's Franco can make game changing plays like what I mentioned in game number one. So this is still going to be banned out. So now IDNS Prince, will it be the Karina ban coming through, or perhaps will it be the Lancelot? Because I mean, I think at this point there is a lot of heroes that Lois can pick up, right? Lois is
Mhm.
that type of jungler where you don't really know what to ban out, because in case like they ban out the Karina here, there's pretty much still the Lancelot
There's
and
still the
other
Ling.
heroes. There's
There's
also
still
the
the
Ling.
Baksha.
All of those things are still open for Lois. So
Fanny.
yeah. So what's it gonna be, or will it be the savior band for Angelina? It wasn't exactly the MVP, but oh, it is going to be the Drak. So I mean, I've seen a Masha band coming through for Sun Unpack, but it is going to be the respect for the Drak with the insane damage, and of course
Mhm.
the Guardian's Barrier earlier on. You've seen where it dished out so much damage. It's insane. You're kind of like wondering if this is still a tank or not, right? Final ban here for IDNS Esports. IDNS Prince has still pretty much the first pick here. So is it going to be like maybe a Ling ban, maybe a Cabrina ban that comes through here? Because I've seen S1 on the Karina. They could pick it up in the first pick, not unless they ban it out. Or will they go a different route? Will it be maybe a mid laner ban once again? The Eve that IDNS Prince has also been utilizing. So this could
Uh
be,
huh.
yeah, there you go, the Eve, like what I mentioned.
So save your first pick, most
Savior
probably.
perhaps, or maybe
Hmm.
they want to try the Ling for the second time because right now pretty much Lois can pick up that Ling as well. So it is. Here's a question for IDNS Prince: what will they secure first? Will it be their comfort picks? Will they try to counter pick or steal in some heroes here from IDNS Esports? That's the thing, right? If you have a lot of heroes under your belt, you pretty much don't know what to take away from your opponent, right? The Eve is already taken out. Maybe they could go for the Savior this time for IDNS Prince. They have
That would be the
utilized
safer
this.
option.
Yeah,
Mhm.
they have utilized this savior. But
No,
who? It's going
you
to be
like the
Angela.
Angela. They pick it
Yeah,
up.
I think okay. I think they were going for the Angeline combo. It was pretty wise for IDS Esports of Thailand to just steal that away. Yeah, we kind of saw that coming. Right? Go for the
Mhm.
Angela of Kamui. So maybe, just maybe, again, IDS Prince will go for maybe the Ling, the Lancelot. Pretty much these heroes are still open. Or maybe even the Karina. Oh, speaking of the Karina,
Mhm.
there you go. IDS
There you go.
Esports picks it. It's so funny. Like, okay, I've done like several casts, and every time I mention a hero, I'm just like mentioning it. It actually pops up in the game. So the savior, like what I mentioned earlier, could have been picked up by Idiness Prince, but they had a different idea in mind. They pick up the Angela, so pretty much a priority. Which Idiness Prince, they gotta make this work right now. Okay, you
Oh,
got the Angela
now
first pick.
our Atlantic Prince gonna pick up
Yeah,
the one again though later on. The Ling, yeah,
they can pick up the one
Angeling.
one here. But
Mhm.
here's the thing: there is a lot of gold laners available here for both teams, so they could go for the one for Izzy, but they pick up Sunupak's hero. So pretty much, if it's
Oh,
not
Esmeralda.
Lois, yeah, if it's not Lois, they actually target Sunumpak here. There is the mashup for them to pick up. There is also the Dirot. Speaking of Sunumpak, yeah, the Dirot is a great ban here. It is going to give the Esmeralda a difficult time in the lane. I mean, a lot of people are wondering or have been asking me actually in my streams, even my other social media platforms, what is the counter to an Esmeralda? Yeah, other than the Basha, it is the Dirot
Yeah,
and from IDS Esports.
I'm wondering what Idonotsleep Esports are gonna pick up on their gold lane though, because I think they're gonna be very much comfortable with a fighter as well. Since there
Maybe a
is a
fighter.
Ling, whenever there's an assassin jungler, it's kind of hard to pick up a marksman on the lane. Although Identity Prince are gonna be limiting some of the options, since
The one
later on
one.
it's gonna be them. It's gonna be Identity Esports picking up a hero before Idonotsleep Prince after this second banning phase. So 1-1 is definitely a threat, especially when he gets to fly out there and deal a lot of
Ooh.
damage. Yuzong
Yeah,
to be
Yuzong.
respected
I
here.
was thinking that they could pick up the Yuzong here, right? Someone
Mhm.
like the Yuzong is not just the answer to the Eve. It's not just the answer to the Farsa. The Yuzong can
The zoning
definitely,
tool.
yeah, it's a zoning tool. It can also penetrate the backlines, and it is going to give Angelina a hard time. Especially Sunday has been picking up this hero several times already in the group stages and even in the playoffs. So it's a wise choice again by IDNS Esports, limiting out the sides here for IDNS Prince to take. So pretty much they want Sunum Park to win in the lane. And now IDNS Prince for their final, but could they take out the Beatrix or maybe take out some like Izzy's heroes most, right?
Mhm.
Or maybe even Zandri's heroes. Like the Hilda has been taken
Or are
out.
they gonna respect the Brody
Yeah,
from the
Izzy.
game number one? Nah.
Ooh. Yeah. Zandri has picked up this Selena, right? Selena
Mhm.
is a game changer when it comes to the early game, right? It can do kickoffs that it needs. Like one abyssal arrow could dish out so much damage, and not to mention the vision it gives the entire team. So I think the Selena is a great ban. Sandri has picked this up, I think, in the playoff stage. So pretty much
Mhm.
it is a wise choice for Ideas Prince to take that out, especially since you have a Lilia and an Angela in your mid lane. So not the best hero that you want to go up against. Still pretty much a Brody here for IDNS Esports. But will Sunflower try something new here? Paquito, maybe? We've seen Sunflower on a Paquito, or maybe even a Popple and
All right,
Pupa.
show maybe.
Yeah.
Those are
Hmm.
the heroes. Like the
Paquito
aggressive
could work.
initiating heroes are his liking. But since the Masha is available, given that okay, uh Karina later on will be a problem for the backline, same as the Esmeralda. But Masha is sort of this unkillable front line, especially that he also deals a lot of damage. So it kind of makes sense. The carry though is new to me.
Yeah, the car.
Maybe you would rather
Too
pick up
long.
something that can survive those engages from the Esmeralda and the Karina. But they will
Mhm.
lock it in.
Yeah, I was actually expecting maybe a Paquito, right? A Paquito, but
Yeah.
I think in terms of the range, you gotta give it to the Brody. So I was maybe expecting like, yeah, I've seen Sunflower on the Paquito, I've seen Sunflower on the Beatrix, so it's kind of odd that they pick up this carry right now. I do get
Hmm.
the carry resurfacing right now because of the tank meta, so it is pretty much a tank killer. So I
Yep.
think the idea here for IDNS Prince is maybe they're expecting Lois to build a tank
Where is my
arena, but
target?
shaking things up for IDNS Esports. Yeah, you want to go in for those. You want to go in for those squishy heroes? Yeah, we got the
Yeah,
answer to that. They
we
pick
got the
up.
answer.
We got the answer. The
It's Whack Flames
Natalia.
time.
Oh, Zanri can be so aggressive with the Angela, and now this could be potentially a game changer. It could be an easy start for IDS Esports to go. They got the Natalia, right? Especially if you got heroes like the
the,
Carry, the
the hyper
Lilia,
scaling, like
and
late
the
game
Angeline.
scaling, the
Exactly.
latest of them all. Carry you need at least what three? It's like a Claude, but harder to actually pull off because
Mm-hmm.
Claude, you can just go in with a blazing duet, right? But for Carry, you need to actually close the distance a little bit since his range is not really that high compared to like the Brody and the Beatrix even and the one even. Comparing to other marksmen, it's harder to be able to auto attack freely with the carry. And imagine having to get that Natalia threat as well. Oh, that's gonna be hard on the laning phase here for Idonotsleep Prince. Let's see though if they would be able to survive since they do have the Angela by
Uh huh.
Kamui. So there's
Yep.
protection.
There is protection, but who's gonna protect Kamui, right? You got this. You got Zanri on the Natalia with the high and dry emblem and the execute, which means pretty much he wants to go in for those kills. Look at that early on aggression, already chunking Vina down to half HP, forcing Vina to retreat right now. So pretty much what IDNS Esports wants to do here is to give that constant global pressure on these scaling heroes. Sunflower's carry, even the Angela here of Kamui is not safe from Zanri's Natalia. So now Izzy a little bit too aggressive here. Kamui being
Oh,
aggressive as well is able to dash away with the sprint. But again, the threat of Zanri just looking for the next target here. So pretty much, I think IDNS Esports, while Lois is actually farming here, you can kind of see how Zanri has been rotating, right? Look at that, forcing Vina to retreat. That's already twice, right? That's just two basic attacks, forcing Vina to go back. So much damage on this Natalia immediately.
hmm. And let's look at the laning phase so far. Idonotsleep Esports, they're kind of winning the top lane, mid lane as well, but on the bottom lane, it's a challenge here for Sun of Pack. So we do see the problem that Masha can do, especially in the laning phase, consistently dealing those percent HP damage and also being able to tank a lot of damage. So for Sun of Pack, he needs to play this a little bit safe since the turtle is gonna be respawning on his area. So he needs to have that lane priority as well. Idonotsleep Prince are establishing good lane priority, having to clear out the wave, just waiting for S1 to arrive and that. However, Lois is immediately starting
Mhm.
this. This can be a problem for Idonotsleep Prince, sneaking away
Oh,
that
look at
turtle.
Angelina.
Will secure it. Xandri is being very confident in his
Okay.
position, but maybe he needs to respect
This.
things up as he's gonna fall down.
Oh!
Vina picks up the kill, and that overextension led to that first blood handed over to the mid laner of Idonotsleep Prince.
A little bit too overzealous there from Zanri. Finally, Vina gets to punish Zanri for the massive damage or the massive damage it has been up against Vina in the
Yeah.
earlier side. Like twice, Zanri was forced out Vina, right? With no black shoes to pop up. It's pretty much Vina having a difficult time, but
Oh,
also here onto the bot side, Senumpak, all the ultimates being popped here, but still no casualties.
Yeah, it's a patience game here for both teams, but some members kind of go become a little bit impatient. Same goes here for S1. Go diving in into the
Mhm.
tower, but the dawning
Oh,
light
Dawning
was
Light.
one more auto attack on the
One more
tower.
hit will do it.
No, it did not push through. But Lois is stalking him right now. He wants to get that kill, but well, you
It's just
cannot really chase.
intimidation.
Yeah, you can't
It's just
chase a link.
intimidation. Well, you can chase a leg if you're a Karina. Pretty much, you can just do those tumbles, right? It's kind of scary if you're going up against a Karina. You don't know when it is going to dash in for those kills. But right
Yeah,
now, this is what I do know. There is a giveaway code here that's
yeah.
being flashed in the screen. Make sure you guys get that because the highest tournament chest that we are giving out today is going, or rather, this entire playoff stage is going to be a level 8 tournament chest with a whopping 1099 diamonds. So don't miss out, guys. Don't forget to take a screen cap. Be sure to
Mm-hmm.
get in your tournament codes, redeem those chests because we have a lot more for this entire playoffs. This is game number 2 still of IDNS Prince and IDNS Esports of Thailand. There you go. We're still not letting go of that giveaway code. Be sure to take a screen
Mm-hmm.
cap. Be sure to redeem it right now.
If you don't redeem it, we'll redeem it. Yeah, just kidding. Yeah,
Can we redeem it? Yeah, there is a
no,
lot, guys. It's not just one, right?
there's
We
a
have
lot.
been flashing it simultaneously. There's a lot of codes for everyone to enjoy. Not only are you watching the MSC Mekong Qualifiers, you get to enjoy the games, you also get to enjoy diamonds yourself with these tournament chests. I think it's ranging from, if I'm not mistaken, the advanced tournament chest up until tournament chest level 8. So that's a lot of codes for you guys to
There's
enjoy. So
another one.
yeah, there you go. Another one being flashed in. So don't you guys worry.
Mhm.
Be sure to keep your eyes peeled because we have been flashing it all through the clashes. So please be sure to stay tuned in our live stream because we will be giving more of these later on in the upper bracket finals. But now, Gigi, I do have to go back though here of the IDNS Esports and IDNS Prince because since this is already the match point for our
Yep.
teams.
Yeah. I actually have a little bit of a concern on the carry pick
Mhm.
ever since the drafting phase, but hopefully the Sunflower would be able to pull this off. So far, he has been playing it out safe during in the laning phase. There's no successful ganks coming in or no gank attempts actually coming in from Zanri just yet. Even though he has the Natalia, maybe they're waiting for some power spikes before they try to shut him down. And also they have been just prioritizing the turtle. For S1 is doing a really good job constantly invading the jungle camp there of Lois. We
Mhm.
have been seeing him picking up that bottom lane jungle camp of Lois, stealing out just a little gold away from him so that he can limit those farming of the Karina. But again, speaking of invades, that's a good one. Although the
Wow.
retribution is a little bit off timed, so S1 will still be able to pick it up for free without even using the retribution.
Yep, it is pretty much still IDNS Esports on the aggressive side, but the aggression could actually bite them back. Zanri again
Woo!
taken down by Fina. Sweet, sweet takedown right after those the black shoes has already been up, but now Sunumpa with the solo kill onto S1 at that. Be sure to get the redeem codes as well here. We are giving away tournament chests with the highest level, that is the level 8 tournament chest. So be sure to take a screenshot. Be sure to redeem those codes right now. We are flashing it all throughout the game, all throughout the playoffs for you guys to enjoy. And now, going back to the carry pick, I know you are wondering about this, but it is pretty much doing well on the lane up against
Yep.
Izzy.
No threat at all from Idonotsleep Esports. They're mostly prioritizing on the other members of Idonotsleep Prince, just like here Sunday only has
Oh
the
no,
shield
Sunday
to
A.
remain alive. And
Oh, Donnie Light! Oh!
he
Oh!
actually
He's
regained some health back after being able to avoid some damage for a short amount of time. That is a good outplay. Now he is relatively safe going back onto the base, but the tower is no longer safe in the bot lane. It will get taken down. First tower
actually.
secured here by Idonotsleep Esports. They are ahead by 2,000 gold, although it's not a lot as of the moment because the carry later on, despite every gold or despite any tanky item you would have, you'll deal lots of it. Angelina trying to
Oh,
deal
look at
damage here on the
Angelina!
Vina. Will he be able to pick up the kill? The answer is yes. While Izzy is trying to zone out Sunflower, but Sunflower so far is doing a really good job actually winning the 1v1s against Easy despite Zanri hovering there as of the moment.
Yeah, one of the most underrated marksmen. I know this has been a favorite pick before, but now I'm actually glad it's resurfacing due to the fact that yeah, it is dubbed as the tank killer. So Sunflower, I think they are gearing up for Sunflower to win in the lanes, and so far, she has been doing well in the lanes, of course, with the help of
Oh,
Kamui. But here
Lois is
comes
here.
Lois. It could be a different story. It is Kamui safely protecting Sunflower, of course, with the sprint from Angelina onto the backside. The Dawning Light takes him down, and Lois is just like, yeah, baited in by Angelina's Dawning Light. Even though that Lois doesn't get the kill, it's pretty much Angelina securing it in. But look at Senumpa. He is so tanky here, trying to invade the purple buff. But look at Zanri. Zanri takes down one, and this could be a tower down here. Vina is also the next one on the chopping board, as Izzy. There is no minions here, but look at the rage of the Brody. One more hit could do the trick, and they take it down. IDNS Esports, 2 towers down, and as for IDNS Prince, they still need to take in more towers. And speaking of Sunday Ye, trying to make some plays here, but unfortunately, he does not have the sprint. There is two. Zanri is also here for the backup. Execute takes down Sunday Ye. Oh dear, here comes the turtle. Here comes the turtle take by Lois, and they safely secure in this turtle once again. And this keeps going on. If it keeps going to IDNS here for all the turtles, it economy wise could definitely favor them as well as the map control.
Yeah, Idonotsleep Esports are increasing their tempo, their speed right now, and the damage is
Oh
insane!
goodness!
Angelina with the burst, killing Vina with just 2 spells. That is insane. And they even picked up a tower in the mid lane, looking to up their goal lead even more, above 5,000. And 80 seconds before the Lord spawns, I think they have full control on the map right now. Zandri has been hovering all over the map. And we even see Son of Pack going in with a 2 versus 1. Now it's a 2v2 since the Dawning Light has been used. S1 is trying to flee. He just wants his buff, man. He just wants his buff. And he got it.
Oh,
he's going to be able to escape. But
dear.
not Sunflower. 3 people diving under the tower. There's no safe place for this carry.
Yeah, speaking of dives, yes, there is this dive composition from IDNS, right? Even Izzy can actually dive here on this Brody. The only one in the back lines is literally just Angelina once again on this Savior. Standing at a 203, and of course on the Mystery Shop Emblem, it is going to be easier to buy in those items to just so that Angelina can spam in the ultimate. But look at Sunday Ye.
Yep.
He is quite tanky. The sprint is also out, but the damage is also pretty much real from Izzy here. And they take this tower on the bot side. Again, the map control. The way that IDNS Esports just converts the tower takes. And now S1 is
Oh,
the
no.
next target. Tempest of Plays and the Heart Guard just to escape that situation. IDNS Esports with the constant pressure. This is pretty much their game in game number 1, and this is still pretty much looking like their game here in game number 2.
Yep. Full control. A while ago it's 5,000 gold lead. Now it's ballooning to 7.5 thousand gold at 9.5 minutes. That is huge already. And they basically can't take this Lord right now. They're just looking for more picks. I mean,
Yeah, pick off onto Sun
can-
S1, right? Oh
Yep.
dear.
And who can kill this Esmeralda? No one. Maybe Sunflower, but it's hard.
Oh,
it's hard.
just look at
Lois
that.
picks up the kill onto S1. He's just gonna be cleaning things up. Next target is Sunflower. He is dead.
Oh, there you go.
Nowhere to go.
Nowhere to go indeed. And speaking of, there is a lot of flashes, but you guys also have to watch out for all these codes that have been flashed
Get the
early
code.
on. Be sure to get it. Be sure to redeem it. The highest tournament chest code that we are giving out is a level 8 one. It's not just one, by the way, okay, guys? There are several codes that are being flashed all throughout this game. So be sure to be able to screen cap, be sure to save it, be sure to redeem it as much as possible. And right now, it is IDNS Esports that gets in this Lord in the 10-minute mark. But look at Angelina again on this Savior, pretty much just spamming in all those ultimates. Look at this, even Sunday, they can't even deal with the aggression here of IDNS Esports.
Yeah, Idonotsleep Esports having full control right now in the game. Oh, look at that damage by the Dawning Light of Angelina. Half health onto 3 people. You have to give that tower. You have to maybe even give more. S1 is trying to split push across the map, but he's being chased down by so many people. And they don't have a purple buff. So energy-wise, you're easily getting exhausted. Finally manages to escape with only half of his health down, and even has a little bit of backup coming in from his allies. But later on, I mean, there's a Lord pushing on the side. It's not the upgraded Lord yet, so no charge incoming, no charge threat from the Lord, but still, the push is pressuring them right now. Where did they go? Where did they position themselves? Because the entry here, or the engage of Idonotsleep Esports, is immense. Sunday tries to frontline, but here comes Sun Pack along with Zanri. The Dawning Light zones them apart. They're trying to just kill this Lord, but they're losing their structure right now.
Yeah.
It's hard.
It's really hard, right? But here's the easiest thing, guys. Don't forget to take a screen cap. It's not just one code. There are several codes being flashed here in the screen. So be sure to be able to get one. If you missed out, you can still pretty much get it. But here comes the shutdown. Proper positioning there with the heart guard from S1. Finally takes down Angelina. A little bit to the side of Esports. That right now they have to back away. They got what they wanted. One inhibitor down, and Idonotsleep Prince is still pretty much in this game. And right after that pick off, that could possibly be an opening here for Idonotsleep Prince. But here's the thing, right? Has Sunflower scaled enough? This is not actually the best game that Sunflower has. 0-3-0 on this carry. Here comes Izzy. Torn apart memories here. Heart guard to save the day.
Ooh.
But speaking of Sunflower,
Oh, no.
finally, the kill onto Sun Park, and you can kind of feel already the carry's damage. I'm pretty sure Sunflower has already secured in the Demon Hunter sword as well as the golden staff. Oh, there you go.
There's the
Speaking
Demon
of,
Hunter sword.
again,
Yep.
here is the Demon Hunter sword. I was just talking about it, and
Right
then
on
it
time.
pops up. Right on time, right? So
Well,
again,
no golden staff just yet.
oh, no
But-
golden staff. Oh, okay. So Sunflower went for this. It's pretty much a sustained carry. So also got the Wind Talker, but the Demon Hunter sword is pretty much still a vital item for a carry. And now, here's the thing: will Idonotsleep Prince resort to just do the split pushes? Because pretty much that is what Sunday A has been doing. They can totally do it right now. They got a Masha. They also got S1 on the link. So that is pretty much what they can do. But look at the side lanes as well. The map awareness here of Sunam Pak as well as Izzy. They're just not letting go of any of these lanes.
Oh, no.
As wanted to do the split push, I was just talking about it, and immediately gets bursted down by Zanri. And right after that, this is an immediate call for IDNS Esports to go in for the Lord, the second Lord for this game, and this is the Luminous Lord that we're talking about, GG.
Yep, there's the charge towards the top lane for sure later on. This is a long duel of Sun Pack and Sunday.
Yeah, it has been going
transition
on.
from
It's still
top,
not over.
and their health bars are still okay, right?
Yeah, even
That
if
is an insane battle.
I know, even if Sunday only has like one health. Oh, but look at the damage also from Angelina. Insane. So much cooldown items, and pick up the Divine Blade and the Genius Wand is just massive, right? You can just stay in the bush here.
Massive.
Actually, Angelina can just stay in that bush right there. And then
Just wait
IDNS
for the
Esports.
cooldown.
Okay, just aim the Dawning Light here in this angle, then you can get in some kills. Actually, it doesn't matter right now. You can just spam in those ultimates. Then either just chunk down or poke the members here of IDN Express. Beautiful falling star moon there by Sun Pack. But look
But
at
the
that.
Lord-
Finally, the Lord is still up. They cannot afford to break out another team fight. They have to take care of this Lord for this not being at their base half HP. They successfully defended. But IDNS Esports is relentless. Look at Izzy's damage. Look at Izzy's rage on this Brody. Already half HP on this tower. This could potentially be the end. So much minion and end the damage from IDNS Esports. This
Oh,
could be the
Zanri!
end.
Zanri!
Oh, no. On the backside,
Oh.
almost. The base is still up, but it could potentially be an end. The range here is just so superior from IDNS Esports, and they take in the victory, or they take in the series up against their Laos brothers with a 2-0 GG.
Yep, 2-0. Well played here by Idonotsleep Esports. Definitely that Natalia pick worked in the very end. Having to disable S1 and even a Sunflower not being able to auto attack effectively is a big problem for them. Creative playstyle and drafting by Idonotsleep Esports. For Idonotsleep Prince, they yeah, we kind of assumed already or expected that the carry would struggle, especially in terms of scaling, due to the fact that early game control of Idonoslip Esports is immense. But they put up a really good fight as well. Unfortunately, they're gonna be the first one on this top four to drop out. So we are gonna be bidding goodbye for them. They managed to reach
Mhm.
the lower bracket semifinals though, so they would be able to pick up at least $1,000 on their pockets. And
Mhm.
as we look at the post game results, MVP handed over to Lois suffered no casualties along with Izzy.
Yeah, I mean, we were expecting Izzy, right? Izzy, the job here of Izzy was just to take down the towers. You can see, right? He kind of built on the sustain, the brute force breastplate, then going for the malefic roar, knowing for a fact that they need to push in those towers. I mean, it was a nice attempt by IDNS Prince, like especially by S1 and Conway to do in the assassinations onto Angelina and Izzy. But ultimately, their positioning, they were untouchable by this duo, eventually. I
Yeah.
think it was just pretty much IDNS esports, just knowing how to make their draft work very well. But I think for IDNS Prince, pretty much they were for a while they were actually on top of the bracket. But right after that, as the days go by, as the qualifiers go by, I think the odds are getting higher and higher. But like what you said,
Mm-hmm.
Gigi, it is going to be IDNS Prince, unfortunately, dropping out of this competition. They're not going home empty handed, but the fight or the dream still lives on for IDNS Esports of Thailand. They will now face the next team, whoever will be up
Well,
against
whoever will be
whoever will be winning up against the next round, which is Team Vietnam and Nightmare Esports. So if ever the one who will lose this particular series, either Team Vietnam or Nightmare Esports, they will drop down to the lower bracket and they once again. But again, this next
yes.
game will be crucial, GG. The one who will be winning this one, either Team Vietnam or Nightmare Esports, they will be waiting in the Grand Championship stage already. But speaking of the Grand Championships, we will be taking a 30-minute break, but don't you guys go away. There will be so much more giveaway codes. There will be so much more action here in the MSC Mekong Qualifiers. Again, this is Burger Kim and Beyond Gaming. We'll be right back after this break.
All right, and
We're
welcome back to MSC Mekong Qualifier. And after the fantastic 2-0 sweep of Idonotsleep Esports against Idonotsleep Prince, right now we are going to be watching the game, the series of Team Vietnam going up against Nightmare Esports. A little background about them. Well, so far, Team Vietnam are undefeated since the group stages, and they're
Mhm.
looking to solidify their spot at the grand finals, but they have to take down Nightmare Esports in order to do so. Again, we are your shoutcasters, Gyang Gaming, and here with me is Burger King. And before everything else, we'd like to thank everyone that made
Mhm.
this event very much possible. This tournament is organized by Mineski Global in cooperation with Vietnam Recreational and Electronic Sports Association, VNG Games, and Lao Esports Federation.
Yeah, and a little info about these. Viresa, VNG Games, and Laos Esports. All of these. Viresa is actually the SEA Games 31 esports organizer in Vietnam. VNG Games is the Mobile Legends Bang publisher in Vietnam. And as for Laos Esports Federation, they are responsible for Laos big esports events such as the 31st Southeast Asian Games qualifier and other tournaments as well. And of course, the Mekong qualifiers is also considered as a sort of free SEA Games tournament, kind of giving you guys a glimpse of what could potentially happen in the 31st SEA Games, which will be happening this year in just a little bit next month to be exact, the 13th of May up until the 22nd of May in the National Convention Center in Hanoi, Vietnam. Of course, MLBB will be one of the medal contested events. And right now, today, this is the final stage of the MSC Mekong qualifiers, wherein we are getting closer and closer to the grand final stage. And speaking
Mm-hmm.
of GG, this match will actually, we will find out who will be waiting at the grand championship
Yes.
stage. Whereas the other one, it is not going to be game over for them yet. They still have to face IDNS of Thailand in the lower bracket. And that is going to be happening tomorrow. But for now, it is Team Vietnam and Team Nightmare Esports in this upper bracket finals rather in the playoffs. But now, Gigi, I do have to remind our viewers though that we will be randomly generating all the codes. We've been flashing it all throughout from the game of IDNS Prince and IDNS Thailand. And again, for this entire live stream, for the entire playoffs, we will be giving so many giveaway codes. I just really, really wish I could be part of it. But of course, this is for all of you viewers to enjoy. Don't forget to take a screen cap. Don't forget to redeem those codes.
Yep, the codes are very much important, of course, if you want to get those diamonds and also many more to come. Because, well, we have been flashing so many codes ever since yesterday. And, oh, for the viewers, of course, you have to make sure to get those. I mean, free stuff is always amazing to
Free
get. And
diamonds,
now
right?
into the, yeah, yep, you can use those diamonds on pretty much anything. Into the game right now, drafting phase of Nightmare Esports versus Team Vietnam. I like the bans here of Nightmare Esports taking out these aggressive junglers and also the Sicilian,
Mhm.
respecting Gangshin here. And I think though they might need to disable something like the Lilia and the Franco previously against IDNS Prince.
Oh,
Team
yeah.
Vietnam has used this, and well, it was a 2-0 dominating game. So maybe at least try to get one of those, if not ban it away.
Yeah, I think for Nightmare Esports, okay, I haven't seen them pull out the Franco, but yes, Team Vietnam has brought out the Franco, and under the hands of Nart, it can be again a game changer, pretty much like a Kamui, right? When he holds on to the Franco, it's pretty much an S tier hero. And now speaking of the Franco, it is going to be the last man here of Nightmare Esports. There is a lot of heroes here to take. There is the Grok that is available, Masha as well as the Eve that seems to be a prio pick as well for these two teams. Not unless Team Vietnam will ban it out because Nightmare Esports is quite interesting. GG, a lot of
Mm-hmm.
OP heroes, or rather, tanks have been opened up. Yeah, now I do have to mention the Grok, the Eve, and even the Ling, if they want to go that route, right? That's for Nightmare Esports. Yeah, they have picked up the Ling, they've picked up the Karina as well for their jungler. So most of the time, right, you limit out the junglers, and now you can possibly take it for the first pick, or not unless they want to go the route of like the savior first pick. This is the thing about the
The
new meta, right?
standard.
There's just so many heroes to pick up, and yeah, I did mention the Grok is one of them. It is going to be automatically the first pick here of Nightmare Esports, and this will definitely go to. I think this is the first time they've picked up a Grok, if I'm not mistaken. But it is definitely in the meta. I mentioned the Karina as well. So this could be the hero of Joe right now. As early as now, they are picking up the junglers because in the second banning phase, it could be again limiting the junglers.
Mhm. This is pretty much standard pickoffs right now by both teams. Diving into the meta, we're not going to be seeing, okay, Masha might actually just be a good pick against these frontline heroes that Nightmare Esports are currently building as of the moment. But Nightmare Esports, I wonder if they're going to be going into the route of scaling marksman again,
Yeah,
because it's gonna be hard going up
there
against
is.
Team Vietnam. They battled
Mhm.
during the group stages and well, it
They
didn't turn out well for them.
I
So
was gonna say there could be a contest for the 1-1 here. Yeah, the 1-1 is still pretty much open here for the two teams to take. We've seen Sherry on the little 1-1. We've also seen Kami on the little 1-1. So it could be a contest for the 1-1. Oh, there you go. There's the
there
Eve
you
that
go,
I was talking
and the
about.
Eve.
It wasn't
Hmm.
a priority, but it's still pretty much open in the first phase, and Nightmare Esports already picking it up. They have high ground here. They have the AoE. They also have someone who can initiate, which is the Grak. And speaking of AoE. And speaking of coverage, it is going to be even out, of course, by Team Vietnam with the range that the Savior has. So this is pretty much a solid pick. They got a solid side, considering like I'm expecting perhaps this could be a Grok that could be in the XP lane as well. So now, what's it gonna be for Team Vietnam? They still don't have a jungler here. So perhaps maybe the heroes of there you go, the heroes of Too Easy for Lexi. A repeat pick, the Hellcurt. Too Easy for Lexi. Let me take a look. Hellcurt, the Ling, and the Karina has been
Hmm.
picked up by Too Easy for Lexi. So now if they want to go that route, just limit out Too Easy for Lexi, or maybe even some of the side laners, the tanky sides, or maybe something for Nano Ship, right? To pick up maybe
Yep.
the Atlas. We've also seen an Atlas being picked up, and yep, it's still going to be Too Easy for Lexi's heroes.
Is there a possibility that maybe a Nightmare Esports would pick up another? I think another frontline for Nightmare Esports would definitely suit them, since,
Definitely.
or at least a fighter one to match up with the Masha, because Masha damage as well towards tanks,
So
and it's hard to
tanky.
kill him using a tank. So maybe a fighter would suit them well. Nightmare Esports already had a good amount of experience with the Esmeralda, and I think it would definitely suit them if
Mhm.
ever it is available for the taking too,
The
unless
glue.
Team Vietnam gets
The glue
or
has also
glue.
been a
Yeah,
pickup for Nightmare Esports. So okay, they could pick up the glue. They have the glue to
good zoning.
isolate, yeah, to isolate the heroes here of Vietnam. They can also have the
Ooh,
Grok on the side lane, but there you go, the crowd control as well. Massive crowd control. That is something that Team Vietnam lack. And with this Kufra pick, it is pretty much settled right now when it comes to the setups that a Kufra can make. So now this is something for too easy for Lexi. There is the Ling pick up, but it could be
oh,
something different. Okay, here we have heroes that you need to reach in the backlines, right? The high loss could make sense. We've seen a high loss jungler, but of
Angela.
course, I mentioned the Ling. It is going to be the Angeling right now, and who knows? It could be an Angela Grok combo as well, the little Angela Grok,
Hmm.
and yeah, definitely confirms my theory that this is a Grok side laner. So now it is going to be going head to head with the Masha, and now still they need something for Sherry. Maybe Sherry has played a Claude. Sherry has played a Nathan and even a Wan, but now the Wan is already out. So maybe will Sherry go for like a Beatrix, the classic
Beatrix
Beatrix,
would suit them,
Cody,
honestly.
Opal, and Kupa? So what's it going to be? They need someone to scale up, right? I mean, aside from the
Uh-huh.
Savior.
Let's go. And they would prefer to go in with
Yeah,
a fighter one.
Beatrix.
This one is pretty much the standard, the safe pick here. Get the Beatrix, allow him to maybe even win the lane, because sometimes we do see that the Beatrix wins against the one. Depends on the playstyle of both players and also the support being given to them. Team Vietnam needs to played out a little bit safe though, because Nightmare Esports has the Angela and the Ling. So rotations are going to be insane coming in from them. And they're going to be looking to establish a good amount of early game access against Team Vietnam and snowball all throughout.
Yeah, that's the thing about Nightmare Esports. They're the kind of team that can do the early game aggression. They can also battle it out in the late game. I mean, this is Cammy on the lethal 1-1, right? If you make Cammy win in the lanes, that's what I noticed, right? If you make your gold laner win the lane, it is going to be so much more easier for you guys to scale up. And especially, I think, since this is a double assassin type of jungler setup for both teams, for both Team Vietnam and Team Nightmare Esports, I think it is going to be crucial to secure in the turtles as early as possible to be able to secure in the XP and the gold that they need, especially since they got a Beatrix, they got 1-1. They also got scaling heroes on the mid side. So that's something that they need to consider in the early game.
Yep. Early game is going to be advantageous, of course, on the side of Nightmare Esports. I think Team Vietnam would like to scale up since they have drafted a team fight based composition with heavy frontline power as well. But early game, well, it is definitely happening. Meow getting
Okay.
2v1 here, but he's so far winning. I mean, it's a
Oh, flicker out.
Masha for Christ's sake, and
Oh,
he's
look at
just
that.
one auto attack away. Good snare coming from Nano Ship, so that first blood is gonna be
Oh,
denied. Might even go
oh,
to
might go to
the Nana right
Nightmare.
now. He
Oh, it
gets it.
is the killer Angela. Yeah, there wasn't a sprint. I was actually looking at the spell here of Jasmine. I was like, is it a sprint? No, it's not a sprint. It's actually a flicker out. And it was kind of baiting Meow X Amy to go in for the kill, right? So this is kind of like Nano Ship playing that very feisty, that very, very aggressive type of Angela. Quite similar to Zanri's Angela. It's quite similar, right? You go in for the flicker and even the puppet strings. It's enough to slow down the members of Team Vietnam. Look at that. Nano ship's not even on an Atlas, not even on something as
Like a
scary, but
Hilda.
yeah, not even on a Hilda, right? It's pretty. He's actually pretty scary on this Angela. You know that he kind of wants it to go in for those slows, those stunts, but it is pretty much just the pressure that they are showing. And now Jasmine could potentially be the first target here
No
of the
flicker
side of
this
Team
time.
Vietnam. No flicker this time, and it is going to be a clean take there by Team Vietnam. It could be Nanoship
Oh,
now being punished, flicker out to safety, but now it is pretty much an even trade for both teams, Nightmare Esports and Team Vietnam.
yep.
Constantly, there is a pressure here, GG, on the top
Yep.
side. Oh,
Woohoo!
oh, there
Yeah,
you
they
go.
finally pick up the kill onto Nano Ship. A good shutdown, and now with priority onto the turret, onto the turtle rather. Team Vietnam with a good positioning. There is Jasmine though
Jasmine.
lurking from the side, trying to steal out that objective, but unfortunately he won't get that.
Yep, it is going to be still Team Vietnam. They got sort of somewhat a gold lead. They also got a kill, and it's all being taken there 101 on this Karina by Joe. If this keeps keeping up, right, you kind of have to give it to Team
Ouch!
Vietnam. They can close it out. Yeah, look at the sniper here of Sherry.
He
It's not
saw
even
that too.
yeah, it doesn't. It's not even like Sherry doesn't even have that much items, right? But look at the
Yep,
damage it's causing onto Cammy. But the constant pressure
1/4.
here, like what I mentioned, it has to be Sherry that wins in the lane here. So now Nightmare Esports has to kind of consider that as well, make Cammy win in the lanes. But we haven't seen much of an aggressive rotation yet from Too Easy for Lexi.
No rotations that much. I think he's preferring to scale up in the early game. But by the way, guys, do check out the code shown here on the screen. Make sure to get it, or else we're gonna be the ones to get it. Just kidding. As Jasmine is trying to end three for the team, but well, it's a masha. It's definitely
Mm-hmm.
hard, or at least challenging to get it. Unlike
Oh,
Kami on the
blasted in
1-1,
the face.
immediately killed off there by the members
Mm-hmm.
of Team Vietnam.
Yep, there you go. Our giveaway codes once again being flashed down there. Be sure to get it. Be sure to take that screen cap. By the way, it's not just one giveaway code. That those are several giveaway codes. Be sure to redeem it
There's a
in.
millions.
Yeah, there is not, well, not millions, but several definitely for this entire playoff. So be sure to enjoy it. Be sure to enjoy the game and enjoy the redeem codes as well being sent out here in the Mekong qualifiers. Nice knock up there. Tyrant's Revenge onto one. Fortunately, there is the hard guard onto Jasmine. Not enough, but too easy for Lexi. Goes into the kill for Sherry. A 1-for-1 trade here by Nightmare Esports and Team Vietnam. The codes keep on coming. So be sure that after all the action, you also take a screen cap. Be sure to redeem it. There is a lot of rewards here for all of you guys to enjoy.
Enjoy the codes, enjoy the game as the teams are playing significantly well against each other. Joe starting the turtle already, but Nanoship just basically doing his job, irritating the members here of Team Vietnam, although Nart is positioning himself towards that jump that may threaten some of the members here of Nightmare Esports. Good use of the retribution, securing that second turtle of the game as Nightmare Esports, especially on the side of Kami, is just trying to play this out safely as he
Mhm.
lost the power in the bottom lane already. Nart engaging the Tyrant's Revenge is not gonna hit
Not yet.
any target, but they are gonna be retaliating onto him. Forced out that flicker. Angeling combo in the
Ooh,
front
Tempest of
line
Blades.
into the Tempest of Blades. Joe though is definitely tanky. Even managed to stay alive after 2-3 dashes of Too Easy for Lexi already.
Yep, it is a nice put up there by the real world manipulation, causing the members of Team Vietnam to back away. Fortunately enough, there were no casualties, but this is a pretty much even ball game in favor a little bit of Team Vietnam, of course, considering the fact that they got a lot more kills. And now there is a little bit of switch up on the lanes. Now Sherry is on the top
Oh,
side.
Joe.
And speaking of, we got the BOD, and there could potentially be another casualty here. It could be Jasmine. Nice knock up once again there by our Nart as Jasmine again goes down on this Grok. Not such a little Grok right now, standing at the
Mm-hmm.
0-3-1. This could potentially be a fast game for Team Vietnam if this keeps coming up.
Yep, because there's basically not much frontline coming from Nightmare Esports, so many members are falling down, starting from Nanoship. They might get a trade since the real world manipulation is being used already. Also, that ultimate coming in from Kami. Here comes Too Easy for Lexi onto the front line. Joe is stuck because of that wall, but they are going to be able to escape with only trading both supports here.
Yeah, donning light onto the backside. Almost getting so-so there, but it is just the constant global pressure
Ouch.
that this Savior has. But the damage of too easy for Lexi. The Angeline combo, Tempest of Blades that take him down. And down goes Meow X Amy again. And if you look at the map, again, the map control still pretty much Team Vietnam, despite the fact it's still kind of good for Nightmare Esports. They are getting these pickoffs onto the sides, but not so much onto Sherry. Here comes the turtle take, and like what I mentioned, this is going to be very important for both Nightmare Esports and Team Vietnam to secure. And speaking of, they secure in this second turtle of the game once again. Jasmine is
Oh
not
my.
really having a fantastic time. Nanoship goes down under the hands of Joe, and it is a killing spree. Soso is the next
Oof.
target, as there is no escape here for Nightmare Esports. Well, down they go, 3 members down, and it is Joe just having a blast on this arena. 303. That is absolutely crazy. And with the map control, like what I mentioned, this could just go really Team Vietnam's way.
Yep. One of the reasons why they are winning is they're playing proactively across the map, and Nightmare Esports are kind of playing the exact opposite of it. They're mostly trying to react towards the movements of Team Vietnam, and it's definitely not working for them. There were times though that they were quite proactive, especially for Too Easy for Lexi. But in this, yeah, they react towards defending the tower
Sherry's
that
not.
resulted to Nanoship dying.
Yeah, it's just funny here. Like, it didn't matter if Nightmare Esports went in. Sherry was just locking in the tower. Let's just take in the tower. It doesn't matter right now. And speaking of, it is Team Vietnam that got in 5 towers, but pretty much Nightmare Esports has taken two.
Two towers exchange compared to five though, and this is already almost a 5,000 goal lead by Team Vietnam at 8 minutes. It's looking very good for Team Vietnam. Tempest of Plays just to try and escape. You won't be able to kill the Masha that quickly, especially with 4 people helping him at the moment. But oh no,
Oh
that is
no!
a dead Gangchin. Wrong position, buddy. And Nightmare Esports will finally get that first kill onto the mid laner of Team Vietnam.
Yeah, it's not just Sherry that you have to worry about here, right? It is still pretty much Gangshin. I didn't mention this. Gangshin has a lot of heroes under his belt, and this is one of them, the Savior. And now, GG, as early as now, Team Vietnam is already eyeing this lord that is going to be spawning in just, there you go, it is spawning Now Nart goes
Oh
and makes
my.
a game-changing play, and it's on
Oh.
to too easy for Lexi. What were you doing there? As Team Vietnam, right after that pickoff, immediately goes in for the Lord. They were eye for it, and Nart definitely knows that. I do have to commend him, by the way, on this Kufra. I haven't seen Nart on a Kufra. This is the very first time that they bring it out on
Yep.
the playoff stage in the upper bracket, and he has been making the game-changing Tyrant's Revenge onto members here of Nightmare. But just like that, Kami
Oof.
goes down in an instant, gets blasted in by the Dawning Light, as well as the bouncing ball from Nart. And if this keeps up, if this onslaught keeps up, TG, it could potentially be more towers as the
Yep.
Lord is now marching on the mid side, as well as this giveaway
More
code once
codes.
again. More codes
Yep.
for you guys. Don't you guys worry. It's not just one code here. There are several codes being flashed on and on again. So I hope you guys get that. Enjoy the game as well because there will be more of this all throughout the playoffs.
And I like how Team Vietnam basically countered the draft here of Nightmare Esports. The Ling is not having a fantastic time because of
Oh,
that.
Nart.
Ufra, Tyrant's Revenge. Well, Jasmine is gonna fall down.
Wild
Actually
charge.
lives, but
Yeah.
only with a sliver of health. While Team Vietnam are marching onto the base here of Nightmare Esports, shoving the waves into their towers and making sure to deal consistent damage onto it.
Mhm.
Nightmare Esports underdraft, well, they can withstand a team fight, but they have to be careful because Nart is constantly there, stopping the dashes. Look at how he countered too easy for Lexi, preventing any dash or any
Mhm.
engage coming in from him. And it puts such a big struggle onto Nightmare Esports. Even if they have Angeling combo, if the Link can't actually damage anyone, how do you do it?
Yeah, well, all you guys got to do is just input this code in the redeem section
Just
of the
get the
Mobile
code.
Legends event. Just get the code, guys, please. Yeah, I do want to join in this, but pretty much, if you're seeing all these awesome skins that these players have been using, just like this Emerald skin that this one has. And by the way, I do have one myself. It is very, very pretty. And if you want to get one, we are giving away very high tournament chests as high as level 8, which contains 1,099 diamonds. So these are a lot of
Ooh,
codes that are being flashed
spicy.
continuously. Be sure to get them. If not, be sure to take a screen cap while you are enjoying the gameplay here by Nightmare Esports and Team Vietnam. Nart, though, on this Kufra, I've never seen this. And again, he has been making game changing plays. He has been burning in that flicker and then getting that Tyrant's Revenge onto like one or two key members here of Nightmare Esports. Therefore, it is just Team Vietnam having the sweet time. If you are the jungler, if you are the damage dealer here of Team Vietnam, you want to have someone who can make in the initiation like Nart. As compared to Nightmare Esports, yes, they do have the Angela, but this is not more of the initiator type, right? It's more of guarding specific heroes, giving the heal,
And
sustaining the
buffing.
team. Yep, it is not more on the engaging side. So this is pretty much what Nightmare Esports has. But I think in terms of initiation, it can be Jasmine here on the Grok.
Hmm. He should initiate, although
Yep.
he's not as tanky as Nart and Meowx Ami. So it's gonna be an extra challenge for them to contest objective takes like this. Team Vietnam uncontested on the Lord, and there's nothing that Nightmare Esports can do. They just have to give it away, and more so are just trying to clear out some of their jungle camps while there's no threat coming in from Team Vietnam. But it's only a matter of time before this Lord marches into the mid, and there's
Oh,
waves crashing as well. Too easy for Lexi trying to get an easy kill onto Sherry, but it's not so easy for the Sling as he is still relatively alive. Sherry being able to survive with little health, but he's going to be able to regen it on the top lane while the rest of the members are pushing bottom lane. Nart
oh,
entry
Nart.
towards this grab, and
Skill
the
limitation.
Dawning Light deals us
Oh,
an okay
a little bit too
damage.
much.
Nart, though, is going to be in trouble, and he sends Kami out flying, nearly even picks up the kill onto Gangshin, but they're going to be losing a little bit of health
Oh,
on
look
their
the
inhibitor
damage.
towers. Oh, okay, a little bit
The
off.
damage from Sherry. Yeah, we were talking about this earlier, Gigi. One
Insane.
sniper. Yeah, insane damage onto Kami, right? But here's the thing about Nightmare Esports' composition. Right after Team Vietnam groups up, just like that, Nart made that possible game-changing play on the mid side, but unfortunately enough, he wasn't able to get the Tyrant's Revenge onto Kami and Nano's ship, and eventually Kami was able to pop in that ultimate, forcing Gangshin to just back away. And now it is a little bit different right now. Too easy for Lexi. Takes down
Ooh.
Gangshin, the one that has been causing global pressure. And now a little bit of breathing space here for Nightmare Esports.
Yep, in Vietnam with some slight hiccups into this 14, 13-minute mark, and Nightmare Esports are making sure to get something out of it. Purple buff, the jungle camps, and a little bit of farm closing that gold lead. Although it's still relatively high,
Yeah,
7,000 gold lead is very hard to come back from. Although it's still possible, it
it is
starts with getting
possible.
some pick off. The pick off onto Nart, the pick off onto Gangshin. They can get even more and try to disable Nart, which just recently purchased an
Mhm.
immortality, so that's going to be extra difficult. If they can still counter it and go
Right.
through that Kufra into the backline, maybe they can win a team fight.
It's crazy. Look at even the damage dealers here of Nightmare Esports are respecting Gangshin's damage output, right? That is Kami, Soul, and Nanoship purchasing that Athena shield. So it's kind of saying already the burst damage from Joe and even Gangshin, it is just too much to handle. Nart misses that Tyrant's Revenge. And now Jasmine goes in for the wild charge. Gets taken down in an instant by that Dawning Light. And this could
Oh
potentially
no.
be a back think for the side of Nightmare Esports. Too easy for Lexi. A little bit too overzealous
Oh,
there.
Nart.
As Nart
Whoa.
continues that bouncing ball onto Kami, he can pop in that ultimate at any given moment, but still, the constant pressure, they're still not over. They want to go for it. And another one goes down. Kami as well. Soul is the only one left to defend as Team Vietnam. They
No
really,
one.
really want to take in
It's
this
game.
game with a sweet victory. And after that wipeout, it is going to be Team Vietnam with one lethal flash sends Nightmare Esports to their place. And it is Team Vietnam that gets in the victory for this round.
Yeah, fantastic play there by Team Vietnam, started by Nart himself. He actually forced out the flicker of Soul. Weird though that, okay, Nightmare Esports tried to retaliate into that team fight, but with a much more scaled up composition, Team Vietnam definitely have won that since they deal a lot of damage, and even Kami couldn't escape anymore because Nart was bouncing, and every time he tried to walk away, well, it's a 1-1, so it will dash away. He just keeps on getting interrupted and forced to fall back and not auto attack at all, getting his allies killed. And in the end, that desperation play, that desperate call, led to their demise in that game number one. Well played by Team Vietnam, securing this match point already in the upper bracket semifinals,
Oh,
and they're just one win away from
yeah. One
securing their
way
spot in the
for
grand final.
yeah, one win away from the grand finals. It's insane, right? And I did mention that I haven't seen Nart on this Kufra, and this is kind of like their lethal weapon right now in the upper brackets in the playoffs, which kind of goes to show us like maybe Team Vietnam just has more heroes under the belt. They just don't want to put it out just yet. But right now, this is the time to put it out. Nart on this Kufra with the KDA of 3 to 13 has been making the game-changing plans like what I mentioned, he's not afraid to burn in the flicker. He's not afraid to dive in and to make in those plays. So pretty much it was Nart just giving the tempo to Team Vietnam. Therefore, they were able to secure in the victory for this one. So now there is just another hero to watch out for in Team Vietnam, GG. It's not just
Yeah,
the Hilda, it's not just the Grok, it's not even just the Franco here of Nart. It
Kufra's
is
now
also the
in.
Kufra. Yeah, it's insane.
Yep, he has been making so many plays, ganking, ganking the top lane, ganking being involved in those invades, and every team fight he's there to just jump over the members of Nightmare Esports and basically stop them from intervening on those objective takes. And during the team fights, he's there as well, initiating for the team. Definitely something to watch out for by Nightmare Esports heading down to game number two. It's gonna be an extra challenge now because things are getting more and more complicated. We we s- we need to see now. Well, maybe they need to ban out more heroes out of
Mhm.
Nart. But how do you
Yeah.
do that? You're gonna be leaving out so much of heroes open for the other members, which definitely puts a lot of threat as well.
Yeah, it kind of shows the versatility right now of Team Vietnam, right? To put out all these heroes. So now Nightmare Esports is also not a team that you should take in lightly, right? The Team Nightmare Esports has gone a long way as well. I've seen them grow from way back up until now. It's so nice to see them here, as well as Team Vietnam, which has been a powerhouse consistently topping also the group stages. But now I do have to say that I feel like it might be a different type of composition in the next one. Ultimately, I think what Nightmare Esports lacked in this very game was an initiator, right? I mean, Jasmine,
Hmm.
he can initiate, but the thing is, how can you initiate the clashes or how can you initiate team fights when you are the one sustaining in the sides? I mean, the Grok is
Yeah.
pretty much a great pick right now in the meta, but if you are going to put it on the sides, you still do need to have someone who initiates, right? I mean, Nano Ship sort of did some initiation, sort of did some pokes earlier on, but unfortunately, it was not enough up against the Kufra of Nart. I did mention that Nart, not only the Kufra, the Franco, he has also picked up the Ruby and the Cho. So he's that type of roamer that loves those initiator type of heroes.
Yep. And well, I think Nightmare Esports kind of lacked a front line as well. Grok definitely is tanky, but not as tanky as the Masha, the Kufra that heavily surrounded them during the team fight and basically swallowed them whole. Every fight that they battled, Nightmare Esports kind of had that draft that relied on small pick offs. Maybe here, as we go into the second drafting phase in the game number two, maybe Nightmare Esports could pick up a more synergized composition, or if they would still go with an early game snowball composition that relies on getting those small pickoffs, they would be able to execute it better. Because Team Vietnam, whenever they get, there's a reason why they are kind of undefeated. No game at all lost against everyone. They're here constantly utilizing every strength that they have, and whenever there's any window of opportunity they make sure to take it, just like in game number one. They saw a loophole on the composition of Nightmare Esports with the link. They took a kufra that basically allowed them to have those counters all throughout the team fights.
Yeah, now it is going to be the Fanny and the Grok, and now will Team Vietnam take out something like again, perhaps like a. Oh, it's going to be. Oh, all right. Okay, it is going to be Bye Bye Baby Blue. It's not going to be Nano Ship playing in game number two. Bye Bye Baby Blue. We've seen Bye Bye Baby Blue on the Atlas. We've also seen him on the Hilda, which kind of makes sense that now Team Vietnam has been banning this Hilda out. Constant pressure it can give in the early game, as well as the Grok ban that comes through here for Nightmare Esports. And the Valentina, of course, given the fact that you are not going to be the first pick here, it is still pretty much a game changing type of hero despite the nerfs that it has received. So now, Nightmare Esports for their last ban, is it going to be again under Nart's heroes? Will it be the Franco? Will it be the Kufra? Because I mean, Nart has so many game changing heroes. So okay, it's not going to be targeted at Nart. It is going to be targeted at Joe this time, taking out the Cabrina as well. That is so mobile, and not to mention it is being built as a tank as well.
So maybe Nightmare Esports are trying to bait out Team Vietnam to maybe pick up something like a Franco, and then them
The Franco.
getting heroes that can withstand those kinds of tanks, like going in with fighter composition. It's one of
Asha is open.
the potential lineups of them, but many heroes are open. All right,
Ooh.
starting with
Paki?
fighters already.
Yeah.
Paquito locked in by Nightmare Esports. So they're basically baiting or taunting Team Vietnam now to get the Franco or maybe the Kufra. Like, go, pick it up. We can just punch our way through it.
Yeah, they can pick up the Kufa right now, but here's the thing: you don't really know what type of composition that Nightmare Esports wants to go for. But of course, it is a comfort pick, and definitely they will pick it up. It was banned out.
Mm-hmm. Franco, what are they gonna be pairing it up with? Celine as well is open. If they're gonna opt to go with a really aggressive lineup, Franco and Celine might actually work for them. But no, they go in with the 1-1 since this time it's available for them. Nightmare Esports, though, if they are gonna be solidifying their draft with more fighters, well, Derot is available.
Mhm.
There's a lot of heroes available for Nightmare Esports. Um, we saw them draft a similar composition already before.
Mhm. They brought
Hellcrit
out
even is
Esposito.
open here for Nightmare Esports if they want to have that good zoning control.
Yeah, and also the Selena as well that has been opened up for Soul to take. We've Soul or maybe even Bye Bye Baby Blue can pick this up. But knowing Selena, this is a Soul hero, so this is going to the mid lane. The constant pressure that it can give, it kind of has the similar effect that a Franco has. You don't know when those abyssal arrows are gonna land, or even just the threat of like releasing an abyssal arrow is just definitely hard, especially if you are a one man. So they solidify the draft team. Vietnam picks up the Esmeralda, of course, anticipating the fact that this is a side laner Paquito. But I think this is a flex pick pretty much from Nightmare Esports. This is a very flexible hero. A Paquito pretty much can go to the jungle, can go to the EXP lane. But what Nightmare Esports wants is to, sort of adjust to what Team Vietnam will put out, right? Like earlier on,
Mhm.
they lacked the initiator. So right now, they're kind of feeling that tempo. Okay, will they go for initiator or will they go for something different? But it seems like Team Vietnam, they already have two initiators here. Pretty much the same thing that they had for game number one, the Esmeralda with the Falling Star Moon, and even the Hook and the Bloody Hunt combo. So now going back to what you said, Gigi, the Hellcurt pick that you mentioned that can be picked up here by Too Easy for Lexi. I don't think this is going to be a pickup, especially if you are going up against an Esmeralda, you're going up against a Franco. It
Maybe
is going
not anymore, right?
yeah, it could be. I mean, they could still pick it up, but it is going to be hard to pull off. And now,
Yeah.
last two bans for Nightmare Esports. Still no hero for Gangshin. Oh yeah, speaking of Gangshin, Gangshin heroes go out. The constant global pressure from the savior is pretty much hard to deal with, especially if you don't have someone to control it. The savior ban comes through. Still, right now, if you are talking about a hero that can go up against a Selena, I would say a Kagura would be great. If you really want to go for that sustainable one. So Team Vietnam can go for the Kagura, pretty much still a great pickup, not still the meta, but if they want to go for that solid scaling lineup, the Sicilian is pretty much still open here for both teams to take. I'm talking about this could be like a Roamer Selena, maybe Bye Bye
Uh-huh.
Baby Blue can use this and then
Eve
pick up
as
a
well.
Sicilian as well. Yeah, Eve is open. So will they go for that route? But I think with this type of composition, it is going to be difficult to pull up an Eve, especially on the side of Nightmare Esports.
hmm Mostly they would like to have that long range of a spell. So, well, they are going to be taking away the savior. I wonder what's the last band here. So far, other bands are really good, actually.
Yeah.
And
Uh,
it limits the options here of both teams. That's why we see this kind of draft right now
mhm.
of Nightmare Esports and Team Vietnam. Kind of worried though on both of them because they're heavily relying on two picks right now. The Abyssal Arrow and the Hook of Nart
Oh,
is going to be
the
insane. Sicilian,
Sicilian.
like what you
There you
said,
go.
scaling and the long range would help them so much. Nightmare Esports disabling the Hayabusa. So potential. Oh, okay.
Oh, they're
No
going for
more
the
on her
dive setup.
lane. Yep. The
Oh,
dive with
the
the
dive setup.
Angela. Woo.
This is difficult to deal with, right? GG, you got the Abyssal Arrow, then you got the Basha to dive. This Basha is that type of hero wherein you're gonna kind of question yourself: is this even a jungler? Like I've gone up against a Basha jungler, it is so tanky. Like you want to get the jungler first, right? So you can get in the objectives. But how can you take down the jungler if the jungler is a tank himself? But fortunately enough, I think this is a great pickup from Team Vietnam. They get in the Sicilian, and now they also get in one of the heroes that Joe has been using. So the Lancelot. I was actually
Mhm.
wondering why Nightmare Esports didn't pick up the Lancelot. So maybe they just want to go in for that sustainable, sustainable jungler type again, the sustainable sides.
With
And
the
now,
Angela again.
yeah, do the dives definitely for Nightmare Esports, but it is not going to be easy as well. They have to make their the side lanes. If not, if this game keeps on going, it will definitely favor the side of Team Vietnam when it comes to scaling.
I wonder though if it's going to be possible for Nightmare Esports, especially for their jungler, to be able to invade onto the jungle camps there of Joe. Because, well, the Basha can clear his camps quite fast, and
Mm.
it's sometimes a problem for the enemy junglers. So you you just finish out clearing your buff, and then when you go to your other camps, it's gone already.
Yeah, they see me rolling, right? That's kind of
Rolling.
like the thing of the Basha. It can rotate to different lanes, and at the same time, I feel like it will be very vital here for Nightmare Esports to just constantly pressure in all the lanes. And right now, I think Nart will be having, or rather, he won't be invading, or maybe perhaps like just showing his pressure, showing that he is actually
Oh,
present
he's
here.
gonna invade.
Yeah, he is gonna
Sure.
try to invade. It doesn't matter. He's like, okay, it's a tank juggler. It's fine. We're still gonna invade it. It doesn't matter. But now it is forcing sort of bye bye baby blue here to just zone him away from
Oh,
the
here
buff. And
comes
that
too easy
it's
for
a
Lexi.
fast rotate. Yeah, it's a
Yep.
fast rotate from Too Easy for Lexi. There you go. Faster than Joe. But now they are taking in all the resources that they need. Potential clash here, but there is the heal. So it is the pokes here from these two teams that I
Yeah.
do appreciate the nice
Woo!
hook here by Nart, but he could be punished here with the Abyssal Arrow, and Soul takes him down in an instant, punishing the Nart Franco that has been a signature pick, by the way, from Team Vietnam.
Yep. A big first blood there, especially that the gold went to Soul. So he's going to be able to pick up more items than usual and have more threat towards his exploration across the map. As Team Vietnam are kind of struggling so far, they are fighting back, trying to get some picks, especially that Lancelot has a good amount of damage to last it on any minion or any camp there is, and also on objectives. So they're basically still confident in their pathing, and he even dives onto bye
Oh, bye bye
baby
baby
blue.
blue. Oh, look at how fast he's going. Oh, look at the
Sprints
Angela.
away.
Yeah, sprint is the key here. Like, I mean, the Angela's already fast enough, like when it casts its skills, right? There is that movement speed. But look at how fast he goes, and now
Oh no.
Soul
Yep.
almost getting caught up there by the members of Team Vietnam. And here comes Too Easy for Lexi. He is quite
He's
tanky,
so
tanking up,
tanky.
soaking up all the damage. And now here comes Jasmine. Here comes the Heart Guard. Fortunately enough for Too Easy for Lexi, there is no casualties there. But this is a great start for Nightmare Esports. Pretty much were quite different from what they had earlier on. Look at Jasmine now. Can engage with this Paquito, and I think this turtle will go to the side of Nightmare Esports, and now they are looking to disrupt the farm. So pretty much, I think this is why they didn't go for the assassin jungler this time. So it's pretty much a great pickup from Nightmare Esports. But in terms of scaling, again, they have to continue doing this constantly. If not, it will be Team Vietnam's game in the late game.
Yeah, and to think that it started during the drafting phase, letting the Franco be open, although it's making work, getting that hook onto Soul. They're gonna be getting a kill onto him. Crazy for Lex is here though, and this is a beefy boy. You can't really kill this Baksha. Kami can kill Sherry though, so that's a really good job by Nightmare Esports so far, ahead in this game by 1,000 gold and a kill. Now invading onto the top side jungle of Joe, being able to steal it out, and now with the heart guard, 2 versus
Oh,
4,
look at that.
not really much of a problem. Even picks
Yeah,
up
it's
Nart in the
fine.
process. Here
Gotta
comes
roll out.
Soul to back him up. Oh my, Nightmare Esports, not so much of a nightmare game for them anymore. They're having a good time.
Yeah, look at that. Like what I mentioned, right? Right after you go in for the engage, you go in for the dives, and you wanna go out of the clash, you just roll out, right? It's pretty much too easy for Lexi getting in that one. And now, this is what I
My.
mentioned. Nightmare Esports, they are solidifying their sides. Joe gets outplayed there by Jasmine, but of course the answer from Meow X Amy gets taking down Jasmine in an instant. It's a 1-for-1 trade, but still pretty much Nightmare Esports got a 2K gold lead. They have to look to push forward as
And look at the
well.
code.
Speaking of gold lead, I hope you guys get this one. The codes are being flashed in again and again right now. So be sure to get it. Be sure to take a screen cap. And now Nightmare Esports on the full aggressive side. And like what I mentioned, they can definitely do these dives in the early game.
Mhm.
You have a 1-1, you have a Cecilion. These are the heroes that still need some time to scale up.
Yep, and it's taking a long time for them to scale up. Nightmare Esports, on the other members, are having a good time. 3,000 gold lead so far by them, with 3 kills on the board. By them as well, all objectives, I think it's going to be hard for Joe to contest, and they have to give it away. Even Jasmine being able to zone out a Lancelot
Hmm.
So it's extra challenge right now for Team Vietnam. This draft so far isn't much
Oh,
working for them, and the abyssal
in an
arrow into
instant.
the kill. He even picks up the gold for himself. By the way, guys, codes are still being shown
Yep.
on the screen, so make sure to get it, or else we're gonna be the ones to take it.
Yeah, I do want to take it for myself, but now the towers, it is Team Vietnam and Team Nightmare Esports. They are going in for the tower takes, and I think Meow X Amy, it's a great call here to constantly pressure the lane so that
Oh
someone will
no, you
respond.
see
But
me
again,
rolling.
this could be a dive again from the side of Nightmare Esports. Even someone as tanky as Meow X Amy goes down in an instant under the hands of Cammy with one blast from that Renner. Constant pressure, and I think I love these two teams how they are able to have that discipline to take in the towers right after the kill. So it's pretty much a very fast-paced game. But now it's a ticking time bomb for Team Vietnam. If it constantly goes this way, it could be Nightmare Esports' game, not giving the time for Gangshin and Sherry to scale up. But as for Team Vietnam, they can take their sweet time. The longer this game goes, the better it is for them.
Oh, there's a hook onto the Angela. So bye bye, baby blue says bye. And it's Sherry that even picks up the kill. So really nice pick coming in from North. You don't want to let him get those pick-offs or underestimate him in general because he's a Franco user for a reason. But oh my gosh, that damage from Kami is
Uh huh.
immense on that
Yeah.
snipe.
It's kind of like, do you want to give Cammy the Beatrix or do you want to give Cammy the lethal one? I don't even know right now because the codes are being flashed once again. Be sure to get it. But now the dives are on continuing and continuing. Even Nart can't control how aggressive Too Easy for Lexi can go down. So I think this perhaps could be a way that Nightmare Esports can secure the series. They go for the tanky junglers. They can go in for this type of composition. But as for Team Vietnam, they have to hold on for their dear lives as the turrets keep on going down one by one. Our giveaway codes are still continuously being flashed. I hope you guys got that one, but definitely Nightmare Esports. Again, getting the last turtle of the game. Another
Ooh,
skirmish here onto the mid side as
he's
too easy for
surviving
Lexi. Jasmine
so
with the hard
much.
card, but here comes Sherry popping in that ultimate, taking down one. It's a 1-for-1 trade. It's not yet the best day here for Nart. 0-5-3 on this Franco, but pretty much Team Vietnam, Nart is pretty much doing what he does best is to have that pressure. And now Sherry and Gangshin, they need to hold out. Team Vietnam needs to hold out if they want to win in this series. This is a Sicilian. This is a Wanwan that you are talking about. I kind of want to see the items that each players have right now. But again, another tower goes down for the side of Nightmare Esports.
Yeah, Nightmare Esports are squeezing the life out of Team Vietnam. It's a good adaptation coming in from them that started so well as well. 8 minutes on the board, 8 kills already, and 6,000 gold lead continuously going up since, well, Joey's having a hard time right now. Even on his jungle camps, he can't really secure his own buffs. And too easy for Lex is, well, having an easy time being in the front line because he has that heart guard from Bye Bye Baby Blue. Yeah, tanking everything. Look at that. 2 bars damage and now even regenning so fast. Oh my, this yeah. They see me rolling, they hating.
This is kind of walk in the park game for Too Easy for Lexi, right? Roll in to the dives that Nightmare Esports has been doing. And despite the fact that Ganshin has been spamming in those ultimates as well as Sherry, it seems to be Nightmare Esports has this under control. Look at all the dominance eyes being purchased there by Nart and even Meow X Amy. Of course, to counter out Cammy as well as Too Easy for Lexi and the heals as well coming in from Bye Bye Baby Blue. Here comes Too Easy for Lexi. Goes in for the shield unity. There won't be any engage as is now up for the grabs. And mind you, it's still not yet the Luminous Lord, but enough to create pressure here for Team Vietnam.
And the pressure is continuously being built up here. No contest. And Team Vietnam now a little bit back on the wall because they only have one outer turret left in the mid lane and the others are just inhibitor towers. It's a hard time for them, but they're still trying to keep up in the pace of this game. Even the waves helping them out. secure that bottom lane tier 1 tower, as it is just their first tower secured. So Nightmare Esports still has a significant upper hand in this. 8,000 going 9,000
Mhm.
gold lead. This is a nice gank now towards Jasmine. Nice suppression by Nart, and they will pick up the kill onto him.
Mhm.
Not much though difference. It's just a breathing time by them. There's still the Lord pushing there for Nightmare Esports,
Mhm.
and Soul continuously throwing those abyssal arrows. So Team Vietnam shouldn't be that much complacent because Susie for Lexi is gonna
Mhm.
engage to them. Joe
Yep.
getting a
Here comes the
little bit
dives.
damage. Yeah, it's too much. It's too much.
They are holding out for their dear lives, and Cammy with the pokes, with the range that the Beatrix has. Look at the damage onto Nart. There is a possible
Yeah,
engage here.
Sicilian though.
Bat's impact and Bat's feast being unleashed by Gangshin, forcing everyone to retreat. And speaking of Gangshin, he has been so quiet on the Sicilian, the mystery shop emblem. So if I'm not mistaken, he is already on the third item. So pretty much you can kind of feel the power spike that the Sicilian has, especially when it has the lightning truncher. Here comes the engage from Nart and the Bloody Hunt combo as well. But look at, despite the fact that all
Oh,
the ultimates are being thrown, he is still alive with the Heart Guard.
how is
But
this
bye bye,
still alive?
baby Blue takes out
What?
Felix Amy instead. What is going on? It is still Nightmare Esports' game, but
Okay, they
again,
got one.
Jasmine, two down for the side. No, make that three down for the side of Team Vietnam,
Oh,
despite the fact that it was Team Vietnam that actually did the engage. Again, here comes the giveaway codes. Be sure to take a screen cap where if you are watching the game so that you can enjoy the games and enjoy the tournament chess also being put out here in the MSC Mekong Qualifiers. You guys are watching game number 2 between Nightmare Esports and Team Vietnam. As the code is being flashed out, we can also kind of see a glimpse of the items that Nightmare Esports has. So actually, Too Easy for Lexi went in for the brute force and even the Athena shield and the cursed helmet. So it's pretty much kind of countering out what Gangshin has been spamming out, right? But later on, like the Sicilian and the Wan Wan, these are two heroes that's just constantly scaling up, right? So it doesn't really matter for Team Vietnam. 12-minute mark, they just have to hold out. They have to hold out onto their
hold
fort
on for
and
dear life.
maybe, yes, and maybe even potentially steal in this next lord that could potentially, take in some of the towers that they need to take in this 12-minute mark. Because so far, Team Vietnam has only taken down one tower here.
Yeah, and this Lord is already enhanced, so it's
Mhm.
gonna charge onto the base. Team Vietnam can no longer allow this to happen, but due to the fact that they cannot kill too easy for Lexi, they're not gonna attempt to do this anymore. Not gonna attempt to contest. They're just gonna rely on being able to wave clear or at least take down the Lord pretty fast since they do have Gangshin on the Sicilian.
Mhm.
But it's gonna be extra challenging. Too easy for Lex is not gonna be that easy to kill. They tried earlier and even did not kill. Too easy for Lexi. Managed to survive with that sliver of health due to how tanky he is. And that 143 during the previous clash is definitely not worth it for Team Vietnam.
Uh-huh.
Now with the Lord marching to the mid, oh, can they defend? Well, Nightmare Esports are not guiding. Well, they're guiding the waves, but
Mhm.
so far it's taking a little bit of time. So Team Vietnam can still stop this Lord in the mid lane.
Uh-huh. Yep, it is. They need to take down this lord first. They need to take care of that. But look at how they can engage, right? Too easy for Lexi, despite the fact that he is the one getting hooked here. They are the one getting punished. Team Vietnam, one by one, goes down as
Oh,
Narc right now they are kind of totally regretting that decision, but at the same time, you can really feel the power spark here of Gangshin getting in that Ice Queen 1. So this is quite important as well to slow down the members, considering how mobile they are, considering how fast they can move. Cammy in an instant takes down that tower as well. One inhibitor left here for the side of Team
oh,
Vietnam.
snipe.
Insane damage from that sniper of Cammy. So perhaps right now, Team Vietnam give an opening here for Gangshin to spam in the ultimates, to spam in the Bat's Feast and the Bat's Impact. They can take down Cammy in an instant. So right now, the pressure is not onto Joe. You see how Team Vietnam is just giving Gangshin the purple buff here. It's not even going to Joe anymore. They know that this is the time wherein the Sicilian and even Sherry's 1-1 could shine. But if not Mere Esports, they continue this pressure. If they get in one more Lord, this I mean, how long can Team Vietnam hold out, right? They can only hold out for so long. But now, with one proper team fight, I think Nart has to choose who he has to hook out here. Or maybe perhaps just a bloody hunt would suffice here.
Mhm. They have to get the hook onto at least Kami or Soul. If they can get that hook onto them, it will be a big chance for them to win because a burst of Gangchin is immense. The damage is already high coming in from this Sicilian, and they have scaled up pretty well as well. So he needs to hook not Jazz. Maybe Jasmine is still okay, but not too easy for Lexi. It's
Yeah,
gonna be a good
definitely
time for
not.
too easy for Lexi if the gap is closed between them, as he is just basically running them down, rolling like a thunder here
Yeah,
against
it
Team
is.
Vietnam as they need to back away. Joe is in trouble.
Okay.
Just one more snipe from Kami would definitely be enough to kill him. They have to give the purple buff away, so big loss there for Gangshin.
It's still pretty much good, right, for Nightmare Esports. They got the purple buff, which kind of means that the leverage is still pretty much on their side. 15-minute mark. So now what I'm waiting for is the proper positioning from Gangshin. If you are Team Vietnam, you really want to get that proper positioning to be able to kite down even the tankiest heroes. Here comes the conceal play from Nart, but unfortunately, it is still going to be Nightmare Esports that secures that one. They cannot afford to have another team fight break out. They have to take care of
Mhm.
this Lord. So now Team Vietnam, this is their story. They have to wait out, right? They got two scaling heroes. But right now, Gangshin is pretty much good, lethal already on the Sicilian.
Yep.
302. So proper positioning. But right now, it is also pretty difficult. You got the threat of the Abyssal Arrow and also the dives coming in from Too Easy for Lexi. Here comes the engage once again. Look at the damage coming in from the Anjabasha combo. Lord is still up. They are trying to get this tower, but in an instant, the Lord goes down and Team Vietnam successfully defends their base.
Oh, the
But oh,
stun!
could be a possible case. This is
Gangshin
what
is
they're waiting
dead!
for. Gangshin is down, and this could be a wipeout again. A very similar game that Nightmare Esports has as they go for the tower lock. Immortality being popped there as Team Nightmare Esports. They get this one up against Team Vietnam, so it's still not over for them in
It's the
this.
first game 3
Yeah,
since
game three.
yesterday.
Right.
Yeah.
I did not expect that. I said if they could pull this off, right? If they could pull this dive composition, it's immense pressure. And they were able to do it so well, GG. I mean, right after that
Yep.
Abyssal Arrow onto Gangshi, which is pretty much game over, right? It was only Sherry. Everyone was forced to back away. And I think this time the Franco pick didn't really work so well for Nart, although there were hooks, but it kind of eventually bite them in the back, right?
And it started actually during the drafting phase. This is
Mm,
how meticulous or how Nightmare Esports improved significantly in a short amount of time. They let the Franco be open, and even picked up the Paquito initially, so that Team
mm,
Vietnam would kind of think that they would go on an aggressive
mm.
melee comprised composition, but no, they went with the Beatrix and the
The
Selena having
Selena
that
and
immense amount of pressure in the early game as well. And
Mhm.
what Team Vietnam did not expect is them picking up the Baksha and the
Yeah.
Angela. And we both had some reactions a while ago during the drafting phase when they picked up the Baksha and Angela. We were like, oh no, this might be it. This might be the chance of Nightmare Esports. And they
Yeah.
definitely took it. Too easy for Lexi. No deaths at all. One near death
Mhm.
experience, but nope, didn't happen. 1-0-12, and he's the MVP. Well deserved.
Yeah, definitely well deserved. DJ, I do have to say that in this entire Mekong qualifiers, I think it's not the Angela plus assassin combo. It's mostly like Angela plus a tank combo that really
Yep.
works so well. So, wow, we are going to a game number three. But of course, before we are heading to game number three, we will be heading on to a short break. This is Burger Kim and Gigi. Don't you touch that browser. Don't go away. We'll be back for game number three. I hope you guys didn't miss us too much. We're back after that short break. This is still the MSC Mekong Qualifiers, and we are heading to a game number three between Nightmare Esports and, of course, Team Vietnam, battling, of course, for none other than the spot to wait in the Grand Championship stage. But, of course, the MSC Mekong Qualifiers is a tournament organized by Mineski Global in cooperation with the Vietnam Recreational and Electronic Sports Association, VNG Games, and Laos Esports Federation. This is all odds are at stake as we are getting closer and closer to the grand final stage. My name is Burger Kim and Gigi once again back at your service for game number three. And we will be having a lot more action as well as our giveaway codes. And don't you guys worry if you missed out on earlier's giveaway codes, there are plenty more today and tomorrow. So keep your eyes peeled out for that because we
Mhm.
are so excited to show you what's in store for game number three as our players are just getting ready, GG, because this is the match point, the true match point between Nightmare Esports and Team Vietnam.
Yeah. Both teams are definitely hyped up for this moment. I think it's gonna be a tough time though for both of these teams as well in terms of endurance. It's always kind of tiring to have this kind
Mhm.
of extended series. Both teams have adapted. I want to commend Nightmare Esports for that game number two because they have well adapted on that particular game from the draft towards the execution, and now it puts Team Vietnam on a tough spot. Pretty much different from the how they finished game number one, and now in a match point series. Let's see who's gonna be winning this. It always starts with the draft, and the execution is just the second part of the things in the game. So with the bans right here being shown on the screen, Nightmare Esports banning out the Fanny, the Grok, and Team Vietnam banning out the Hilda and the Valentina. Pretty standard bans, but what really is also important are the remaining bans and the one they initially picks, because a while ago Nightmare Esports they started off with the Paquito, followed up by the Beatrix and the Selena. So Team Vietnam has to be cautious on how they respond now towards the initial picks of Nightmare Esports.
Yeah, I think GG, the key here is what Nightmare Esports will bring out, right? Like earlier on, we were expecting a Paquito jungler, but unfortunately enough, it was a side laner Paquito. It is still going to be pretty much the assassin bans here. You don't want to give Joe these comfort picks, the Fanny, and even the Ling. And now Vietnam, Team Vietnam, respecting the Basha's performance earlier on under the hands of Too Easy for Lexi. So now there is a lot of heroes still pretty much open. The Savior, if Nightmare Esports still want to go that route. I mean, the Savior is pretty much a very good pick, as well as the Eve that I know Nightmare Esports loves to pick up as well. And I think ultimately, I think there is a lot of heroes. It really depends on what type of composition you want to go for here. I mean, could Nightmare Esports once again pick up the Selena? Or maybe they could pick it up in the second phase. So they are kind of thinking of what kind of route they go for, right? Maybe perhaps this time they are ready to let go of the Franco, right? GG, they were ready to let it go in game number one, and they are pretty much still ready to let it go for game number three. It's still not banned away. And again, the Ling. Could it be something like, again, a tank jungler? And speaking of tank junglers,
Barats being hovered here by Team Vietnam, definitely adding more on their frontline power and a good scaling as well. Karina
great
has worked for
side.
them
Oh, there you
during
go.
the
Just kidding.
game one. Yep. Masha is a better choice though. It
Yeah, but
is
Masha is a
definitely.
better choice, definitely. In terms of the current patch, I do have to say it is one of the top fan picks in ranked games. It's also one of the top picks as well. For the longest time, we haven't seen the Masha, and right now it has been buffed up quite well. It is kind of being utilized as a tank fighter. And speaking of the tanks, it worked
We finally
really.
locked it.
They're going for the again. Okay, this is pretty much telling Team Vietnam, okay, don't go for those heroes like the Sicilian and the one. We can definitely dive in if they do secure in the Selena as well. I mean, right? Why are you gonna change your lineup if it worked so well for you in game number two? They go for
Yep.
the Angela, they go for the Selena, but okay, they go for the Brody instead, the range. And I am kind of anticipating this might be a jungler high loss. Who knows?
It can actually work for them. A while ago, they hovered it actually for too easy for Lexi, but they changed it up with the Basha. So this can work for him. Team Vietnam still going with a backline mage with a good amount of team fight access. The Eve definitely can work for them. Savior is available though,
Mhm.
and
Not unless they ban it out. Oh no, no,
unless
not unless Team Vietnam bans it out, but it's still pretty much the Nightmare Esports that takes taking out like Sherry's heroes here and even Nart's heroes. So I think this time they are really willing to let go. Maybe like Franco is still pretty much willing to let that go. But I mean now it is pretty much Sherry 1-1 perhaps. Like a 1-1 could be taken out, the Beatrix also, and there you go, the 1-1 pick. The 1-1 ban rather comes through here for the side of Nightmare Esports. Final ban Team Vietnam, GG, I think something towards maybe a mid laner. They don't have a mid laner. So a savior would be a great ban. A savior, maybe a Cecilion even, that Nightmare Esports could pick up here. Someone to go up against the Eve here of Gangshin.
yep.
The Paquito. They are
One.
anticipating na it is going to be a Paquito jungler. Or maybe
Yeah.
even about Paquito's side. So it did perform very well in game number 2. So they are going to be respecting that. And as for Nightmare Esports, again, they could center the bans on Sherry completely, maybe even taking out the Beatrix, even limiting out the options of the gold laner. But it is going to be, yeah, the Ruby that we've seen Nart, which kind of like is signaling them to pick up like maybe again Nart picking up the Franco, maybe even the
Mm-hmm.
Cho, but oh, the counter to the Hylos. The Kimi. I've seen a Kimi and a Hylos pick up, but I think Team Vietnam is kind of
Mm-hmm.
thinking if they're picking up this Beatrix or the Kimi.
It's
The Kimi, it is
it's a
too much magic damage though. Yeah,
yeah,
it's too much magic
yeah.
damage. They
I'm
pick
kind
up
of
the Kimi.
nervous of them hovering it. I would still kind
Yeah.
of prefer them going with a standard one. Maybe yeah, Nathan can work, Claude can work, maybe not the Kimmy. Yeah, this
Yeah, the
one can
Kimi to burst
shred
down.
shred
Yeah.
HP. Yeah, you still have that team fighting capability, but the Kimmy is too much. It's a too much target on the Hylos. It kind of
Yeah.
makes sense there, and like how you pointed out, too much magic damage as well.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
in this pick that they do have, let's take a look at Team Vietnam for a bit. They have a proper engage. Like they have two solid front lines. Even the Karina can be a solid front line along with a Masha. Good backline because they have immense crowd control with the Eve in a good setup that can be made here by Claude. AoE damage. What they are lacking right now, though, is the holding capability
Mhm.
since they don't have that much crowd control aside from the Eve. So maybe
Ooh.
something like an Natas maybe can work for them.
Yeah, I think the Yuzong would have been a great pick up here for the Nightmare Esports to answer out to the Eve. But they go for the Esmeralda instead. Considering, yes, you are going up against a Masha, despite the physical lifesteal, I would say this Esmeralda is a great pickup. But that is a lot of magic damage. We were talking about that for Team Vietnam. If ever they secured that Kimmy, and now I'm looking at Nightmare Esports' composition. This is like four magic damage dealers: the Angela, the Hylos, the Esmeralda, and even the Selena here are magic damage dealers. And Nart goes for a classic throwback onto the Matilda, but this is a lot of shields also for the
Yeah.
it's a lot of shields
Well,
for the Esmeralda to take. But I think this is going to be a much more mobile setup coming in from Team Vietnam.
mhm. Um, a good lineup coming in from them. Hopefully, the execution will be on point as well. You know, Nightmare
Yeah.
Esports are on fire as of the moment. They're looking to have this slot in the grand final, especially after their beautiful performance during the second game in this draft that they do have. They have they're having a good chance. Hylos as their front line, having so much healing and sustain with the Angela as well. You gotta you gotta have a lot of pressure on this Claude right now. The Masha to deal all those damage onto the Hylos, but it's pros and cons at the end of the day. And you gotta take into consideration early game access. I think Team Vietnam would be
Mhm.
able to farm out a little bit though. They have to be quite careful of So though. because during the second game, he has been landing those abyssal arrows.
Yeah, if he had a ruler, right? If he had a ruler, it's pretty much like, okay, he has a ruler for the abyssal arrows to just land in straight to his target. And pretty much that was a game changer. It wasn't just too easy for Lexi. It was the also kind of like the sort of support that they needed for that game. And now they have it once again here on game number 3. This is a crucial game for both teams. And the winner of this game will actually head straight to the grand finals. A quick technical pause here for both of our teams. But GG, again, the immense pressure that Nightmare Esports will have in this game in the early game rotations will definitely matter. But this time I think it will be a little bit different. The Matilda can actually provide extra shields, extra support
Mhm.
towards the team of Team Vietnam, right? There is a shield, there is a guiding wind to escape every sticky situation that they could be in. But now, Nightmare Esports, they got to do what they did in game number 2 to be able to secure this series, of course, with a possible reverse sweep. But again, it's still not over for Team Vietnam.
Not over yet. Team Vietnam so far has a a good scaling composition. That's what they want to go early game. Not that much. They might struggle actually a little bit because of the combination here of baby bye bye baby blue and Jasmine and also So constantly trying to land those abyssal arrows. But if they are gonna be able to play it out, safe mid game to late game can work out so well for them. We're talking about uh, the power spikes of Meow X Ami, power spike of Gangshin, and also Sherry later on. Paired it up with the Matilda that can allow them to close the distance quite effectively and easily. It's gonna look good for them towards the late game. But again, early game. It's hard. During game number 2, Nightmare Esports actually had such an amazing performance getting those pick offs, and uh even with the Nart having the Franco during second game, they managed to disable him. N- Very few times did we see him getting to land those hooks, and
Mhm.
also whenever he gets those hooks, sometimes he gets punished for it. So with this,
Mhm.
knowing how Nightmare Esports actually behaves in the game when they have this kind of draft should be
Oh
something
dear.
that Team Vietnam should consider. They're trying to gank bot lane as
Mhm.
Cammy is just going to be able to safely back away because
Yep.
his ally is here. So now punishing the
Oh,
overextension as
trying to
Nart
get the
is
kill.
also shred down.
Yeah, well, it's almost kill for both teams, but it is the pokes here. Of course, there is no flame shot. They could go for the dive, and Soul
Whoa!
does go for the dive, but unfortunately, you can't go for a dive if you have a Matilda in your hands. Team Vietnam gets the first blood here in the hands of Nart. But I do have to
Yeah,
say, once again, GG, we thought it was the high loss jungler here for Team Nightmare Esports. It is actually a throwback, the Esmeralda jungler, but now it is a two for none
two
trade here.
kills.
2 kills
What?
already for Team Vietnam. Too easy for
Yeah.
Lexi. There is no hard guard just yet, but he is already quite on the aggressive side. Takes down Nart here. There is a lot of shield. He is forced to back away. And fortunately, there is a heal here coming in from Bye Bye Baby Blue. So here's what I mentioned earlier, right, Gigi? So I think that their esports, they're kind of working on this type of composition wherein it's more favorable for them to take in these tanky junglers. It worked very well for them, and they are doing it again right now with this Esmeralda under the hands of Too Easy for Lexi.
I want to commend Sherry though. He went back a while ago to
Mhm.
kill So, but in the mid lane, bye bye baby blue might say goodbye, but says hello though. By Jasmine trying to disrupt the members of Team Vietnam is getting damaged since it doesn't have any more mana, but it will pave a way for Team Vietnam to have access on this turtle since Nightmare Esports are kind of exposed as of the moment. They're gonna try to contest, and too easy for Lexi will actually secure
Mhm.
that turtle. Now trying to get some kills, but they won't be able to do that. Good job by Nightmare Esports, especially for 2-0 for Lexi. Just one retribution is already enough for them.
Yeah, but one code is just not enough. Here comes the redeem codes once
Many
again,
more.
guys. Many, many more will be flashed in all throughout the playoffs. It is not just one, it is a couple of codes every time there is a turtle take event flashes here. So keep your eyes peeled once again for all these codes. And if you are enjoying the game, be sure to take a screen cap and redeem it immediately. So a lot of codes for you guys to enjoy. Not just enjoy the MSC Mekong qualifiers, but also enjoy these tournament chests that are being given away here. And now back to the game, GG. I think Nightmare Esports, this is working out well for them. Yeah, they go for the tanky heroes, then go in for the dive. So it pretty much works for them. And to seal the deal, they have the Selena, of course, to go in for the constant pressure. You see how Team Vietnam can't really totally go in for the dives as well, despite the fact that they have a Karina. But still, pretty much, Nightmare Esports, they are on the lead once again. A 10K goal lead up against Vietnam that has 9K so far. But again, the scaling, Team Vietnam definitely has it with this Claude.
Yeah. Claude scaling all throughout, as well as the codes being shown onto the screen.
Be sure to get
Nart
it.
being into the front line as Joe is also trying to get something. A kill
bye, Baby
onto
Blue.
Bye Bye Baby Blue.
Bye-bye.
Now So all alone. Well, he has his allies, but Joe is relatively tanky. Kami, though, not so tanky anymore. I will burst you down, but he might actually get bursted down as well, as 3 people are there. Actually, no! Too easy for Lexi is there for the backup, as well as Bye Bye Baby Blue assisting a little bit since a while ago. And now this is the part where things get interesting. Team Vietnam are ahead in terms of kills, but Niightmare Esports are ahead in terms of gold. Yes, it's just a little bit, but we have to take into consideration what they do whenever they have a lead. They become proactive, they start objectives just like this, and Team Vietnam falls off just a little bit. And this is where things gets interesting, because Nightmare Esports, when they get the momentum, they become dictative.
Yeah, this is what they felt, right? They felt the momentum in game number 2, and they are continuing it here in game number 3. Of course, this could potentially be an upset, as Team Vietnam is the top seed here in the group stages. Jasmine forced to pop in that glorious pathway. Joe tries to go in for the kill. Real with manipulation onto the backside. Everyone just trying to take down Jasmine, and he is actually able to escape that one. He has the sprint, by the way, so that is a lot of movement speed. You got the glorious pathway, you also got the sprint, and he is able to dash away to safety. And I mean dash, right? He is a centaur after all. He is a centaur. And the giveaway codes are continuously being flashed, so I hope you guys are getting it. We do love to get it ourselves, but the action is nonstop here in the MSC Mekong Qualifiers. This is, after all,
Speaking
battle
of actions,
for the grand final spot, as Joe gets a pick off onto Sol, who has been landing all those abyssal arrows earlier on. Nart is the next target here. There is quite tanky from the side of Nightmare Esports. Glorious pathway once again to escape everything as they safely disengage. Oh my goodness, this is hilarious. He's not even using the glorious pathway to engage. He's going to use the glorious pathway to disengage from the clashes. I mean, I've seen that, but most of the time, if I'm using a high loss, I'm using it to engage. This is quite different from Nightmare Esports. They are so mobile right now. They are feeling the momentum. Falling Starborn onto 2. They take down Gangshin, and the main damage dealer that has the AoE. Look at how crazy too easy for Lexi is on this hero. He just doesn't even matter if there's a tower. I got Bye Bye Baby Blue here to safeguard me. I have the Heart Guard with me. Falling Star Moon. Again, the constant pressure by Nightmare Esports. Even the jungle side here of Team Vietnam is not safe.
Yeah, and we're kind of having this reaction because this is pretty much different from their past games. We normally see them being a little bit passive, like both of the teams just scaling, getting some pickups, but now we're seeing a brawl all throughout the game. Then them trying to get some kills, trying to contest everything, and now Nightmare Esports are engaging onto the members here of Team Vietnam. Trying to zone them out away from this turtle, but Meow, like Amy, is trying to damage them as well. Gangshin with a good steal onto this turtle. What will be in exchange? Jasmine is getting chased down, but I think Too Easy for Lex is having a hard time escaping. He's relatively tanky and might actually be able to safely survive. Team Vietnam only getting the turtle out of that, and they even had to exchange a tower into the top lane. Now they go
also
back
get the tower
for
here.
Lexi, still relatively tanky. The tower
God, look
falls
at all
down.
these tanks.
Jasmine trying to flee, but here comes the other members of Niightmare Esports. Kami picks up 2, and even with an exchange here of Jasmine, they're just continuing to get more kills. Oh my, this is almost a wipeout. Yup, only Gangshin survives.
Yeah, okay, can I just say this game is not even an El Clasico? This game feels like a brawl, right?
Just,
have you played Brawl? Okay, have you played Brawl in MLBB? Brawl in MLBB is just crazy. You have all these clashes happening all at the same time. And that is kind of like
And
the
there's no
game that we
rest.
are having here. Yeah, right. There is no rest, especially since, did you see that? There was just like 5 members of Team Vietnam trying to take down Too Easy for Lexi and Jasmine to no avail. And they were the ones getting caught up in that. So like what I mentioned, this is a composition that is working so well for them. And I think they are feeling that momentum that they need right now. This could potentially be a reverse sweep and an upset here for Team Vietnam. If ever this does go the way of Nightmare Esports, it's still pretty much not over. They do have to Sherry here on this squad. Glorious Pathway this time used to engage. Falling Star move onto
here
the
they go.
backside. The target is Joe. He is quite tanky. But look at these two tanks. Esmeralda, Too Easy for Lexi, and Jasmine just tanking in all the damage. But Meow X Amy also has another plan on the bot side as he is
Good
trying
push.
to take in that tower. And Team Vietnam
You gotta run,
successfully
though.
takes one. He has to run. Does he have the sprint? He does not have the sprint. Oh, yes, he does activate the sprint. He is able to run with that missile arrow. Oh,
Where was that
that's
coming
why
from?
you're safe, right? Oh my god, that was
Well, he
really...
is safe, but he is traumatized
He is heavy. Yeah,
by
he-
those arrows.
Yeah, he was like, you're running for your DRF, and then what? An abyssal arrow just comes out of nowhere. That's insane. I mean, Nightmare Esports just has this entire map covered right now and looking to take in this Lord, but the pressure there by Meow X Amy is going to force someone to actually clear out those minion waves. This could be a bait Lord, but this could be played out well if Team Vietnam has the proper positioning from Gangster Glorious Pathway here to escape once again. No casualties here, GG for both sides. But Meow X Amy, really, this is going to matter. They are pushing in the sides here, forcing Nightmare Esports to just pay attention to their side lanes right now.
This is what they realize. Team Vietnam, okay, they can split or at least try to split Nightmare Esports apart because when they're grouped up, it's almost impossible to take them down. So they're trying to have this cross map plays, but as things are going on, they transition towards this Lord. Maybe they're gonna pick it up. So Soul is gonna try to contest. Jasmine is also here along with Cammy.
Team
Joe
Vietnam
picks
exit.
up the Lord, but in what exchange?
dear.
Again, Nightmare Esports are piled up, and when they're piled up, they're gonna get some kills. Sherry's
Oh, this
already
is
down.
crazy.
You don't care if there's turrets. They're too tanky for that.
Oh,
and they
dear.
even
They
will
take
get
down Ganshin.
Ganshin in the process. Team Vietnam now
They have to
struggling
disengage.
to try and back away. By the way, Meow XM is still onto the
Yeah.
top lane. He got
not
that
letting go
other
of it.
turret, and Nightmare Esports realizes that. So they're like, "Where's this person? We gotta
Yeah, where
hunt
is
him
Meow
down."
X Amy? Where is Meow X Amy? He does have the sprint,
Here he
right?
is.
So it is great that Team Vietnam is kind of calling for these type of separate plays, but now Meow X Amy is forced to back away, uses that sprint, and of course he is super fast, goes away and dashes back to safety. Now Team Vietnam, they are at least fortunately enough they were able to get that Lord, so at least a little breathing space because it's crazy how Nightmare Esports has been doing this, guys. Right? You got the Glorious Pathway, you got the Falling Star move, causing heroes like Gangshin's Eve to just back away. He doesn't even have the Purify at this moment, right? So he needs to land in that real world manipulation at a very safe spot. And right now, he is kind of not safe virtually
Not safe.
anywhere. There is the Selena, the threat of the Selena. You also have the high loss Esmeralda combo combined with the Angela. So it's pretty much, he doesn't really know where to position himself. This is actually why Nightmare Esports is winning all these clashes. But in terms of tower takes, it's pretty much an even ball game. Meow X Amy doing a very great job trying to make ways here
Oh
for Team
my.
Vietnam, but he is quite tanky. He is getting chunked down real low here by the members of Nightmare Esports. He might be taken down, and he does go down under the hands of Too Easy for Lexi and Cammy. They are forced to retreat right now, but look at how tanky Too Easy for Lexi is. Proper positioning, and that is what I was talking about from Gangshin. You need to land that real-world manipulation, as well as these codes. Again, being dropped once again for you guys to enjoy. Don't forget to take a screen cap. Don't forget to redeem those codes. There's a lot more tomorrow, guys. Don't you guys worry. It will be all throughout the playoffs.
Yeah, this playoffs is just getting insane and more insane. Nightmare Esports still controlling this game with a 2,000 gold lead, but Team Vietnam are slowly being creative in their approach in this game. You know, we constantly see them split pushing across the map and also even getting the Lord a while ago, delaying this game because they have to scale. This is their key to victory. Ganshin and Sherry needs to get their items and they have to play for time. It's only 13 minutes into the game and the They're not, packed up just yet to be able to kill Jasmine, and too easy for Lexi. Joe is sprinting away from the members of Nightmare Esports, and I think he has to go back to base to regain some of his HP. Meow X Amy is doing a good job. Again, back to split push, working his
Yeah,
way
that is a
off
great call.
towards this game. Yeah.
Definitely a great call from Team Vietnam. They need to take in the towers to equalize the aggression that Nightmare Esports has been showing, and now this is the Lord take. They have to force out. I think Team Vietnam has to force out all these ultimates from Jasmine and even too easy for Lexi as well as Bye Bye Baby Blue. And right after that, it is going to be so much more easier to disengage. How can you take down an Esmeralda, the jungler here of the side of Nightmare Esports? So tanky right now and even has all these buffs to go with the power spike this Esmeralda is having. And now this could be a bait lord. I think for Team Vietnam, they shouldn't engage on this clashes. Definitely Nightmare Esports has the advantage to that now.
Yeah, this is hard.
They are going in for the engage again right now. On the full retreat, they are super fast with the sprint and get stunned. Gangshin, guiding wind
The zone.
to escape. Wow, I was actually sweating for a while there. I actually thought they were able to take down Gangshin.
Oh,
And ever
this
they
one
do!
though!
And they take down one, and it is going to be bye bye baby blue that goes bye bye. And right now it is a 4v5 situation. Lord is still up, and no one wants to start it for their dear lives. If I were Team Vietnam, I'm just going to resort to split pushes because right now the clashes are not going to favor our side. Nice falling star moon, but too easy for Lexi taking down Gangshin. And Jasmine also has another plant onto the backside, isolating Sherry. But Meow X Amy takes down Kami as well, one of the main damage dealers here from Nightmare Esports. But this is
Yep.
crazy.
Eh,
Answers
it's up
after
to.
answers from Nightmare Esports and Team Vietnam. This is how crucial this game is. This is how much they
They
want
realize
this
something.
MSC Grand Final slot. Here comes the hard card. Here comes Too Easy for Lexi. They are just tanking in all the damage. Look at how tanky these two heroes are. But Sherry onto the backside takes down Jasmine, and Too Easy for Lexi could be the next one being punished here. There is the hard guard, but now they are forced to retreat. They got what they wanted. 3-man down for Nightmare Esports, and there is still an answer from Team Vietnam. Don't forget to take those giveaway codes. There are a lot that are being flashed right now, so don't forget to enjoy those giveaway codes, of course, care of the MSC Mekong Qualifiers. Hope you enjoyed that, and hope you guys enjoy this game as well. Here comes the real world manipulation. The Lord is still
Oh
up.
no, this is gonna be tough.
This is really gonna be
Joe
tough.
has no mana. He's gonna try to take this Lord
Oh,
instead.
Team
He
Vietnam
manages
gets
to
the
do
Lord.
it, but retaliation from Nightmare Esports are starting. This is where they strive. When
Have to
people
go
are
away.
low, they're gonna chase them down. So landing those abyssal arrows. But Team Vietnam are still not that much shaking from it. That was a long clash. I think that was around 3 minutes. That clash extended so much. And, they have Nart killed. So this is going to be numbers advantage for Nightmare Esports. Them just trying to shove up the waves once again, since the Lord is definitely a hassle for them. Again, another ticket for Team Vietnam to stall this game out. A while ago, we saw Sherry being able to stay alive even though Jasmine is trying to chase him down. And Team Vietnam realizes something. Okay, yes, Nightmare Esports are strong, engaging. They are very fast and it's hard to escape from them. But it leaves some of their members open, particularly Kami and Soul. When they're left behind, Joe and Meow X Amy can actually have a good access onto them and kill them. A while ago, we saw it happen. Even Bye Bye Baby Blue got killed a while ago, and it leaves Jasmine and Too Easy for Lexi all alone that can be outnumbered in a sense when Team Vietnam are able to kind of
Exactly.
approach them creatively.
Yeah, there is a lot of Athena shield as well as the radiant armor. I did mention this. There is a lot of magic damage coming out of Nightmare Esports. So kind of right now, there is a lot of respect here from Team Vietnam. Even Cherie is forced to take in this Athena shield, as well as Meow X Amy and Joe, forcing them to just tank in all the damage just in case they go in for the dives here. But now it is one proper setup here from Nightmare Esports. Again, they have the numbers advantage. They are relatively tanky here. So it is actually difficult to engage here for Sherry. I think for Team Vietnam is again divide and conquer is the plan here. Meow X Amy to do in those split pushes because every time there is a clash, it is going to favor Nightmare Esports. There is a lot of dominance ice here for the side of Team Vietnam, but there is no necklace of Durans just yet. from Gangshin. So maybe that could be the next item, or maybe even something like a Winter Truncheon to buy him some time just in case he gets stuck in a sticky situation. 14-11 is our score, GG, in the 18-minute mark. The goal lead is favoring a little bit on Team Vietnam, considering how well they've been doing against the aggression, against the dive composition here of Nightmare Esports. Again, the key factor here for Team Vietnam to win this one is to give Gangshin the proper positioning, to give Sherry, to take down heroes like Cammy, and even Bye Bye Baby Blue. But now, X Amy, this is going to be one man down for Team Vietnam. He is resorting the split push, which is still pretty much a great game plan here for Team Vietnam.
This is what they need to do. Look at how close the gold is. 54.
Yeah, it is.
1,000 gold difference.
1,000.
And it's diminishing every time they clear a wave. Team Vietnam still having that priority onto the Lord. They are positioning themselves quite well, but Easy for Lexi is trying to contest. This is good coming in from Niightmare Esports, and I think this is going to be a tough call for Team Vietnam. Just one engage, just one mistake can be the demise of either team, and this Lord is already beefed up. So many upgrades have been made on
It's
this,
the
and it's
9-minute mark.
relatively tanky. It's so tanky at all, so much right now. 58,000 health.
Yeah, if Team Vietnam needs an additional tank, this Lord will definitely seal the deal for them to get in this game. But now, look at that. It's Bye Bye Baby Blue and Meow X Amy just doing a 1v1 there. And so far, they are doing pretty well, right? Look at Bye Bye Baby Blue. He's going up against Meow X Amy. Trying his very best to defend this. But this is an Angela. Look at the damage also coming in from Meow X Amy. Here comes Cammy, forcing Meow X Amy to retreat. I got Brody here. Here. Bye Bye Baby Blue, force a retreat. But now, the Lord, nobody wants to get in this Lord just yet, right? A fight might break out and it could go both ways, right? If Nightmare Esports gets this Lord, it could potentially be a disaster again for Team Vietnam. But this is Meow X Amy so relentless on this bot side. It's crazy. He's not letting go of it. He's continuously pushing the waves, forcing Bye Bye Baby Blue to be the only one left to defend. But this isn't Angela you're talking about. The only thing you can do is just
Gotta sprint
stun.
away now.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Could be an outplay. Cammy is here to save the day. The bars are down, but there is a clash also here. The isolate, the conquer, and divide is actually working right now for Team Vietnam. This is the time where they're reaching their power spikes, but they need to be extra careful here from the engages.
Sherry.
Jasmine is down. Too easy for Lexi. Takes down Sherry. And now this could potentially be a game changer. Joe takes down 2, and now after that, this could be a turnaround that Team Vietnam needs. And with those, the split pushes that Meow X Amy has been doing is paying off, as now Team Vietnam, this is their call to take in this Luminous Lord, by the way, and this could potentially be a reverse sweep, or rather a reverse, an epic comeback by Team Vietnam.
Yep. Team Vietnam looking so strong right now. Cammy and So gotta desperately try to defend, but it was that engage coming in because of Nart. They managed to back away, but they lost this bottom lane inhibitor tower. Cammy might be in trouble. Goes to AoE damage. Nice suppression with that Winter Truncheon. So he's still alive, but not for Cammy. Oh my!
Oh
two
my
inhibitors
goodness.
Down.
This feels like the grand finals, GG. Goodness. I have a feeling that this actually could be the lineup for the grand finals. What an exciting day today. This is the first game, number 3, that we had in this double elimination match. And now they have to take care of this Lord, but they have Meow X Amy. They have Sherry back up once again. And now, like what I mentioned, there is so much magic damage from Nightmare Esports, and it's already being countered out here by Team Vietnam. The Lord, look at that, an extra tank unit that they have, and they could potentially end this right now. They are gearing up for it. Too easy for Lexi, already has the heart guard. Jasmine, circling Eagle, also onto the backlines, forced to back away. Team Vietnam really wants this victory right now. They want to solidify why they are the top seed in the group stages. They are locking in the tower, doing the best that they can, but what can you do with 4 tanks backing you away? North is the target here, but now Joe has to back away as well. But that's insane. Nightmare Esports is still able to defend this one. Oh my goodness. It's a brawl after brawl here by Nightmare Esports and Team Vietnam. But again, there are no inhibitors left here. There is a lot of minions million waves coming in. They have to clear this. Fortunately enough, there is a decent amount of wave clear here for Nightmare Esports. A close one, but it's still not over. The dream still lives on here for Nightmare Esports, but we can kind of feel already that Team Vietnam is already pretty much confident that they can do in all these dives.
And this is the problem right now. Yeah, Nightmare Esports, they can go with the endurance run, but not their base anymore. They have to be scattered now. This
Yeah, they
is gonna
do.
be a challenge for them. Kami on the bot lane, Sosol on the top lane, and the rest are gonna be trying to guard each other up. But this
Mhm.
puts them in a vulnerable position. Either they do this or they stay inside their base. But either way, it's gonna be tough for them because the Lord is gonna be spawning again in 22 seconds, and Team
Mhm.
Vietnam are definitely gonna try to get it. And if they do, well, take note,
Mhm.
Meow Xame is again on the bottom lane doing his work
Yeah.
done in the process. So even if he matches with anyone, it's gonna be good for Team Vietnam because their goal is basically to divide them, divide Nightmare Esports, and they can just win the team fight as creatively as they can, which pretty much what they have been doing in the past few team fight. Look at
Mhm.
Meow Xame,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
tanky. He's
So
okay with
tanky.
this.
Yeah, they are stronger when they are together, but weaker when they are divided. This is the motto that Nightmare Esports is living on right now. And if this could be a wipeout for Team Vietnam, they have the utilities right now to take down Nightmare Esports. And now Joe already going for this Lord. And I think this is virtually one of the longest games that we've had so far in the MSC Mekong Qualifiers. And of course, what better way to end this day, because this is actually a game that you want to win, because this is actually going to give you the ticket to the grand final spot here in the MSC Mekong qualifiers. You want to be able to secure that so that you safely wait for whoever wins in the lower bracket. But right now, Gigi, we are going to be heading on to a technical pause. We can already feel the intensity of this game as the
Yeah.
players need to check what they need to fix first before we head on to that possible final Lord clash. So here's the thing, no, I think now ex Amy really the pushes that he has been doing is made Team Vietnam really so far they have been winning all these clashes so far in the late game.
Late game is the name of the game here for Team Vietnam. This is where they really strike. They suffered a lot during the early game. Nightmare Esports basically dictating everything during the earlier phases of this game number 3. But when they got their tempo, when they
Right.
actually got the chance to isolate the members, and when they saw the weakness of Nightmare Esports, it gave them the opportunity to divide and conquer them. And this is gonna be, well, one of the hardest challenges right now of Nightmare Esports, having all their inhibitors down, having the Lord so upgraded right now, 24 minutes in, and 25 minutes in rather, and it's already being started by Team Vietnam. So they have to do something about this. They have to contest. Although a while ago, I had a little bit of a glimpse wherein Too Easy for Lexi is lurking around the area, trying to get a good entry towards the Lord. So if they are able to steal the Lord, it will buy them enough time because they can just play for stall, and they can still win this. They have to rely on one team fight win. Just one team
Right.
fight win. The death timers are already so long. But if they lose this chance, if they lose the ticket on getting this Lord, it's gonna be game over. It's a Team Vietnam winning with one push.
Yeah, I mean, Team Vietnam, they really struggled with this type of composition in game number 2. And I think they are somewhat, yes, they did struggle very much in the early game. But now this is where you reach the power spike. And they are going for the long game. Look at that. Gangshin and Sherry knows very well
Immortality.
that they will be the ones that Nightmare Esports wants to pick off. They have the high burst potential here already. They got the immortality. So it's wow, they are in it for the long run. They know that they are the first ones to be picked off if ever there is a clash. So now it is quite difficult, right? Will they go for the Lord here for Nightmare Esports, or will they just give it away? But it's kind of hard to give it away, right? It's already the 25-minute mark. And not to mention the constant pressure that Meow X
Oh, baby
Amy.
blue.
Oh goodness, almost there, but there is the immortality. Meow X Amy onto the back. Let's try to get Bye Bye Baby Blue. There is the immortality. This could be a potential game changer. Bye Bye Baby Blue tries to get in that hard card, but unfortunately,
Blazing duet.
Meow X Amy got that. And now real world manipulation onto the perfect side as too easy for Lexi goes down. This is the opening that Team Vietnam wants. It was just a bait lord, and now Cammy is the next one on the chopping board. Joe is here to try and take him down, and it is a double kill as well as these codes that will be flashed on. This could be what Team Vietnam needs. It's only Jasmine and Soul left to defend, and I don't think it is going to be easy. There is a lot of minion waves, but look at that, the Abyssal Arrow. But here comes the Tower Lock from the side of Team Vietnam as they take this game number 3, and they will be
My, oh
heading
my.
into the grand finals. Like we just mentioned the team fights, right? One proper team fight for the side of Team Vietnam, and it is game over. And this is the thing, right? If you have a Selena, you can't extend the game for so long. You don't have a
Mm-hmm.
decent wave clear as compared to Team Vietnam that just played this out so well. They held on to the fact after they got in the items that they needed. They went in for the proper team fights, and right after that, it was just them taking in this game number 3. So congratulations to Team Vietnam. You will be heading into the grand finals, waiting for the victors, whoever will win up against Nightmare Esports or IDNS Esports from Thailand, which will be happening tomorrow, by the way. And the giveaway codes are continuously
It's still
flashing.
here.
Yeah. But we get a screen cap with our faces in it,
Yep.
okay? Yeah, there is a lot of redeem codes. I do wish I can be able to catch all of them. But wow. It is one it is a heck of a day here for us, Gigi. And I think I really, really enjoyed this one. Congratulations again to Team Vietnam for playing this out so well, for playing it so consistently. And of course, our MVP for the game is none other than Joe with this tank arena. Yes, we know that the tank arena has been nerfed, but it has worked so well. Joe did the rotations very well, waited for that time that he was able to get in all the items. And like what I mentioned, there is a lot of magic damage dealers here for Nightmare Esports. Make that 4. It's only Cammy that actually has the physical damage here. So if you can take a look at the items here of Team Vietnam, there is a lot of Athena shields, a lot of radiant armors just to counter it out. And right after that, Team Vietnam just really went on for the clashes that they wanted,
Yeah.
and it was just game over. Well played for Team Vietnam. Congratulations. We will be seeing you in the Grand Championships, by the way, is a best out of 7, which will be happening tomorrow, by the way. But before the Grand Championships, we will be having a best. Again, this is going to be the last lower bracket finals, GG. It is going to be confirmed Nightmare Esports and IDNS Esports once again going head to head. They battled each other out already in the playoffs, and now they will be having a little throwback once again to their game in the first day of the playoffs.
And let's see who is going to be winning in that tomorrow. But so far, that is the end
Mhm.
of the eliminations, or like the upper bracket and lower bracket uh, stages. Tomorrow is going to be the final series for the lower bracket, which is the lower bracket finals, followed up by the grand finals.
Right.
But tonight, it's gonna be one hell of an ending. That first game 3 of the whole tournament, and
Right.
it's gonna be an insane amount of effort by both teams in a sense of gathering as much information as they can, preparing for tomorrow as it is gonna be the final day. But for tonight, well, we are gonna be thanking the people, the
Mhm.
organizations that made this very much possible. This tournament is organized by MSC Global in cooperation with Vietnam Recreational and Electronic Sports Association, VNG Games, and Lao Esports Federation. It's an amazing run by
Right.
both of us. And again, we are your shoutcasters, Giang Gaming and Burger Kim. We will definitely see you again tomorrow. So don't wait up. We're going to be bidding goodbye for now.
Yep. More tournament chess tomorrow. See you guys. Same time, same place. And you guys, thank you so much for catching us today in the playoffs. This is the MSC Mekong Qualifiers. We'll be back tomorrow for the grand finals and the final lower bracket slot. So we bid you goodbye, guys. Thank you once again. Burger Kim and Gigi out. We'll see you again tomorrow. Bye bye.